over the place.
Silky, you can't be on live. Go.
You can't be alive.
You can't.
You can't be on live. Okay, I love you too.
Don't talk cat language. Look at the comments there. What's the comments there?
Is there a song?
Who's that? Oh, it's cat.
Silky, no. That
Meow, meow.
I'm gonna mute guys. So I can get her out of here. I'll be back.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my god, guys, you can't shut up! I said shut up! Hi guys, we're live. We should be. I just heard everyone. I said, shh, okay, I'm gonna start now.
Richard!
Everyone
Richard, I was
shut-
telling
That wasn't me.
you, shut up! Oh my god, Richard, I wanted to punch you in the face!
You can't punch that. Can you punch straight?
So I tried to start with this video because there were
Wow.
actually
Oh,
people whining that our start was so unprofessional because we didn't know when we were live. So I thought, well, I'll just throw in a video. So, and then I forgot to turn on the sound. Richard forgot to shut up. So
oh, sorry, I got confused there.
so we're live. We're live. I just this is just how we roll.
And Silky
Well,
wanted
I'm
to be on
sorry.
live too. My cat, she was in here meowing and wanting to be.
Play with your pussy.
Okay, we're here with Nina.
Wow.
Hi, Nina.
Hi.
Hi. Sauron. Sauron
Bonjour.
sounds like the Lord of the Rings. Anyone in the Lord of the
Apparently.
Yes, like Frodo or that guy that goes with him. What's his name?
Sam.
Oh, Sam.
Oh, wow. Sam? What kind of name is Sam for a hobbit?
Oh, we have Richard and we have Jaw. And Jaw.
Joe.
I celebrated for Jaw
guys.
yesterday because Jaw won something very, very important that we
Oh, this...
will discuss on the other channel later. Well, I will discuss it on the other channel because I can and she can't.
Oh, you can discuss it if you want. That's up to you.
That's exactly. It's up to me. I can say whatever I want. Jaw
You
Jaw
sure
was
can.
Jaw was
You can swear.
drawn to court by someone who called herself a Michael Jackson fan for a restraining order, and
Mm.
she didn't win. So we have something to celebrate, and I think most people will know who I talk about at the moment.
Okay.
I saw.
Benson.
I don't know if you caught it, Job, but someone in the chat already asked a question. Giovanni, would you please ask Sousa to address the part about the Disney honeymoon of James Safechuck that didn't happen? It's the
Oh,
one not
God.
accurate thing in his series. Well, I don't know what you mean with not accurate thing in his series. If you mean James Safechuck, but James never said that. That comes from that website, from that what are they called? MJ Facts. They made that up. I think they made that mistake on their website. I don't think it comes from James's. I know he's his complaint is full of lies, but that one is not in his complaint. So I think we just need to let that one go. He did not say that he went to Disneyland Paris in 1988.
Boss, you probably start saying that next.
Sorry?
Yeah, I said. No, I can't remember what I just said. No, I just said. He'll probably say that next, though, like put more lies up and stuff like.
Well,
Because he keeps me.
I think the fans have to be careful to make sure that they're actual lies, you know, and not
Yeah,
um, made up lies by someone else. Because I don't know if that's planted on purpose by the other side, you know, to hoping
True.
that Michael Jackson fans would pick it up and run with it. But it's
Ooh.
not accurate.
Ooh.
It doesn't come from
No,
his
no.
complaint at all. Um,
Wait, before I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Susan.
no, go
Can
ahead.
you guys hear me?
Yes.
I want to make sure that the chat can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
No, she means the chat in YouTube, Richard.
Yes.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear it though?
Little MJ super fan. You can be a non-believer as I am, and it's okay. But please do not disrespect those who believe. This is not the channel for that. First and foremost, this is not about a death hoax. We are talking about Michael being innocent. This is what this project is about. So please do not be disrespectful to anybody in this chat. Okay, we are a mixture of believers and non-believers. It's okay for people to believe what they want to believe. We don't have an issue with that, but this is not the place for that, okay? So please respect everybody. Don't call people stupid and all of that kind of stuff. We would really appreciate it.
Well said, Jar. Well said.
Mm.
Do you have a clap there? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's it.
But no, I mean, and please don't be offended by me addressing you. I just want to stop it before it gets too bad, and people leave or you leave, because we want all you guys to, I didn't, I wasn't trying. Well, I was calling you out because you are the only one that has called somebody else stupid, sweetheart. So I have
Oh.
to address you. I have to address you. So that's why. But please don't be offended by it. If it was anybody else, I would have called them out as well. Okay, so
She's not a
yeah.
bro. She's a sis, yo. Anyway,
So moving on.
a reminder for people: when we hit 15,000 subscribers, we have Mike Small Commie's book, Making Michael. So make sure that you are subscribed, that you have your notification on, that you share this, that you post it anywhere: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Tag us in it. I don't care how you share it. Pick whatever social media you think will get the furthest. With 15,000.
How many are we up to?
We are up to, I think, almost 13,000 now. Yeah, because
13,000?
I know, because someone else
Jesus
was very
Christ.
mad about that this week.
Sorry, Richard, I couldn't hear what Susan said. Susan, how many were we up to?
We are up to 12,774.
Oh, okay, cool, getting there.
Wow.
It's not just the book you'll be getting some other vintage MJ memorabilia. You'll also be getting some Series 1 and Series 2 Michael Jackson Tops chewing gum packets, new and sealed, something to keep for the future. So, just keep liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's going to be a great prize.
Right. And I might sound a bit cynical here and there, but I had a little bit of crap here and there the past few weeks about the channel and people that call themselves Michael Jackson fans and then turn around and stab you in the back. I hope that they will refrain from doing that in the future. I've said what I wanted to say about it, so I'm not going to really give them more attention than this, but
You just said no.
well, it's been enough. We work hard. I don't care if people would like to offend me. because I'm used to that. They attack me for my beliefs, for my whatever, and I really don't care. But I'm not the
Been there.
only one working on this project. There's a reason that
Yeah.
I made this a different project, a separate project, because I wanted the project to have the attention and not whatever people might think they know about me. And when I see that people are whining and bitching about me or about the channel because it gets so many likes and it gets so many views, and other people work 10 years to do that, and I'm just jumping on a bandwagon with Leaving Neverland and never investigated a thing in my life. And well, if you start saying shit like that, you piss me off. And if it's for let's say Pearl Jr., I wouldn't give a fuck because I don't respect her at all. So I would let that go. But if it's people within the community that you actually had respect for because they do good work themselves and you never meant any harm to them, and they do that to you, they stab you in the back like that, and I mean, tweeting falsehoods about you, it's not cool. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't make me want to do less of a job because I feel guilty for having a successful channel. It doesn't affect the project in any way. It's just it causes division, and you piss me off with it. And sometimes it's enough. Sometimes I've just had enough because there's so much bitching going on. Just do your thing, and we can all help each other and contact each other, or let's help each other out instead of backstabbing each other. That's all I wanted to say about that. See, I already said too much, way more than I wanted to
Well, you
say
said it
about it.
just right.
But she just pissed me off. I really don't understand why people keep doing stuff like that. Anyway, so if you want to trash me, if you're anyone of you listening, if you want to trash me, that's all fine. Do that on my other channel. Contact me on Facebook or whatever. But please leave this channel alone, because this is not just me. This is a lot of other people working hard to make this a success. So that said, we still have a channel, and
Yeah.
some people do not, because there have been reports lately, a lot of reports. I think History in the Mix was complaining. I don't know does anyone know if he was just demonetized or if he was actually banned or certain videos?
He was demonetized. He was having trouble. He was thinking of setting up a Patreon instead because his videos had been demonetized, even though there weren't really anything bad in any of the videos that had been demonetized. And also MJTV Fangirl also as well.
Oh, I did not even hear about that one.
Yeah, she's got over 5,000 subscribers now. She's pretty cool. She travels to different Michael Jackson locations and tourist destinations that he's been to, shot videos at. She does good videos, good content. It's all clean. There's nothing salacious or offensive at all in any of her uploads. She's just purely Michael Jackson fan. That's it. And it's just a really lovely, refreshing channel. And she's been demonetized and been having issues as well.
Yeah, I've had it on my other channel. It's completely demonetized me, saying that I am using too many things from other creators. So in my other videos, I use a lot of stuff from movies. It tells my story, but because of that, instead of just demonetizing certain videos, they completely demonetized my channel, and the views are down and everything is down. But I see it on this channel as well. This channel is not in the recommended lists anymore. It's we have a vast amount of people always checking the videos and always watching. It's just the standard visitors. But like in the beginning, when it actually really went viral, that's not happening anymore because they're trying to censor pro Michael Jackson videos. And I don't know if anyone has seen that on Twitter, that Miss Flying Fairy had a channel, And I don't know if you guys remember her last video. She did a video on HBO, and excuse me if I say it wrong, but what I remember from it, because I have seen it when you just uploaded it, Miss, it was about the HBO lawyer and his wife, or the AEG lawyer and his wife connected to HBO, and I think the Sundance Festival as well. And she had her complete channel not just demonetized, not just out of the recommended list. They completely removed and deleted her channel. She cannot access it anymore. It was supposedly banned from YouTube because of hate speech, terminated because of hate speech. And there was not hate speech in it. There were facts in there, and what she did was actually dug a little deeper, well, pretty deep actually, into certain things surrounding Michael Jackson, and that got her complete channel removed. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but I don't understand what's going on with social media. I've had my problems this week too with social media, but I don't know if anyone has a...
Yeah, it's quite disgusting how, I mean, see, I'm still fairly new to YouTube, so when they say a video is being demonetized, does that mean you have to pay to see it, or?
No.
No.
If you have a certain amount of my other channel, it took me about 8 or 9 years to finally have it monetized, and that means that if you upload your videos and you don't have any copyrighted content in it, that you can have advertisement in your, the annoying, you can skip this ad stuff in the videos, and you can make some money. It's not a lot. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
But, you might buy yourself an ice cream every week off of it.
Oh.
So as soon as it's demonetized, it means that they take away that whole advertisement thing off your channel. So you can't advertise anything anymore. So you don't make any money anymore. And for me, with my other channel, there was what $10 a month or something, or maybe 20 on a good month. So
That's not bad, that, huh?
It wasn't like my whole life was going to shit because I was demonetized. But you have actual YouTube creators with a lot of content that made thousands of dollars a month, if not more, from their YouTube. That was their livelihood, and they have been demonetized as well. And also because it's so-called hate speech, and with this one guy, I'm not gonna mention his name because there's a lot of people gonna say, "Oh, he's such a bigot racist." I don't want to go into that discussion, but he had original content. He had his own opinion, and after reviewing, YouTube actually admitted that he was not going against community guidelines, but they still demonetized him because people with a different political view were offended by it. So that guy lost probably, what, 20,000, 30,000, it's just guessing, dollars a month, because YouTube thought that he might have offended other people. And our new video that is, I just finished a script today, and I sent it to True Blue and to Joy for the editing. Is about the media, and I mean, it's like it's getting worse and worse and worse. Maybe that's just me because I'm completely paranoid, but I don't know if you guys see that the same.
Well, it's. I just think the media is more of a circus now more than anything else, because you can say what you want in the tabloids, and people,
Well, yeah,
people just think it's factual.
Yeah, but that's the weird part. You can say what you want if you're on a certain side. So let's say, I don't want to trigger people in the chat again, but let's say that you say something pro-Trump or pro-Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That's out.
Oh, exactly.
That's not allowed. If you say something anti-Trump, or if you say Michael Jackson is a pedophile, that is allowed. while actually saying that Michael Jackson is a pedophile is, if he were still alive, absolute slander. There is no proof to back it up. It's, there's not even arguments there. Yet that's allowed, but you can't defend him anymore. That is what I believe is weird these days in the media. That it doesn't seem so much about making money anymore, because they're making less and less money, which is clear because channels like Fox News are doing way better. CNN is, I think the cooking channel is better watched than CNN. And still they hang on to a certain narrative, so they're not making money with it. So there has to be some other kind of agenda behind it. So there must be a reason that they want to make people believe that Michael Jackson is a pedophile. And why? Why would they want the public to believe? The guy has been dead, whether you believe it or not, but he has been dead for 10 years. So why would the media still be so vicious into attacking him and making the public believe that he is a pedophile? Any thoughts on that?
There's obviously a bigger issue that they're trying to use Michael to like sort of skirt round.
Right.
Well, that's what I think anyway. Like, I think they're just trying to draw the attention away from other high-profile, abusers in the industry.
You think that's really it?
Yeah.
I have a fear.
Because today, I thought it was interesting too. Jeffrey Epstein, after his deal like 10, 11 years ago, was arrested again today. He's a pedophile. He's a convicted pedophile, so I can actually say that he's one. He's been arrested again today for human trafficking. I don't know if people in the chat know this, but Jeffrey Epstein has this island I honestly don't know where it is, but and this plane called Lolita Express, and he has a whole bunch of celebrities on that plane flying tours there, and supposedly there is some human trafficking going on there. That is what he's being arrested for now. And he is linked in a way to Michael Jackson. Well, he's not really linked to Michael Jackson, but there are some links. Michael Jackson is in his phone book. So for whatever reason, well, it's not Michael Jackson. I think it's some kind of scam lawyer that Michael had back in the early zeros. But he did have... yes, Nicole, you can join the chat. You should be able to just join the voice. Sorry, I just saw the message pop up. So there is some kind of... And the Epstein... Well, Jeffrey Epstein is big friends with the Clintons, who Bill Clinton and Michael would be on the phone a lot. I don't know why. I have my thoughts about that. Not for this channel. So there is a certain link. Also, Evan Chandler, Geordie Chandler's dad, was the dentist on that island. So I think it's very interesting to see that this guy is now finally getting caught, and what else is gonna come out, and is this gonna help Michael? Because I remember years ago when Jeffrey Epstein was mentioned, Michael was thrown in the mix, as in, Michael was on his Lolita Express plane, and he was on that island too. See, he's a pedophile. So are they gonna use this again to trash Michael even more, or is the truth actually gonna come out with this? That's what I wonder.
Yeah.
We might find out eventually.
You're still there, or did you fall asleep?
What I was thinking.
I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm just letting you guys talk.
She's still awake.
Is Nicole there? Because Nicole asked if she could join, but I don't see her anymore.
No, I can't see her.
Oh, hold on, she's in here.
It would be the first time I get to be on a live with Nina, who I've who I've wanted to speak to for ages, and she's very, very quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
So what did you want to talk about? I'm here.
There is something that I did want put to you guys as well. Joe Vogel's book, I think it's called Man in the Music, The Creative Life and Work of Michael Jackson. I had read somewhere, I don't know whether you guys can actually back this up or not, but I think he's going to re-edit it due to Leaving Neverland. I think he's going to put like a paragraph at the front.
Huh? Really?
I don't know whether it's he said, well, he said what he thinks about the Leaving Neverland accusations, and he doesn't believe them.
Oh, you're not talking about Dan Reed. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, so I'm sorry. I was
not
reading
him.
something in the.
Uh,
So who is adding what to what?
There's an author called Joe Vogel. He did it's sort of like a discography of Michael's music, and it's called Man in the Music, The Creative Life and Work of Michael Jackson.
Oh.
And I think he's put a news post. I'll have to find the link at some point. And he basically said that after the Leaving Neverland accusations, he has to go back and re-edit it. I don't know what he's going to put in it, or...
Well, Joe Vogel's actually been pretty supportive, and he's been writing pro-Michael articles since Leaving Neverland. So
Yeah.
I've not heard of this, what you're saying about him changing the paragraph in the front of his book. Maybe it's to change it to make it more pro-Michael, to address that Leaving Neverland has been debunked. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I have to look into it. I've not heard of it. But I do know that he's been pretty positive and defending and writing some really positive articles. And he's actually had a difficult time with trolls since he's been writing good articles, especially since Dan Reed keeps kind of, well, he did at the start, at the beginning of the months when it all first started, that he's really went in on Joe. So I don't know for sure.
I think an idiot.
He is a bit of an idiot. Let's not mince our words about Lex Luthor.
I'm holding him back here. Lex Luthor, yeah. Right, said Fred.
But yeah, Nina, I think you are right. I think he's just trying to make it around, about the Leaving Neverland allegations being debunked. I just think I might have said it a bit wrong, so I apologise.
Nicole, I don't know if you can hear me. Nicole Newby in the chat. You have to join the voice channel if you want to join. I see Stephanie joined too. Steph, are you there, or? Because I see you're muted.
Yeah, cool. It's not ruse. Join the party.
I guess not. Well, we can't laugh too much because there were people complaining that we giggle too much. We have too much.
You'll giggle.
We have too
Stop
much
giggling.
fun, and that is not allowed on a professional podcast.
I'm sorry.
So, hereby, this is not a professional podcast. We're just a bunch of people online on lives, and we talk right through each other. And we're probably completely annoying sometimes. And if you don't like it, just don't listen. You know.
Hey, stop doing that.
Oh, I'm
You're in trouble
sorry.
now.
So sorry.
So,
Oh, dear.
just so you know,
Sarcasm.
we're gonna just keep giggling, laughing, say stupid shit, ask Ja how Michael smells, because we're not a professional podcast, so we can do whatever we want.
Damn it.
So, Ja, how does Michael smell? No, I'm just
He
kidding.
smells divine.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Do we have some questions in the chat? Did you see some questions in the chat, Ja? Or are you not paying attention to the chat?
Actually, I have to be 100% truthful. I have not been paying attention. I'm laying down because my stomach hurts, so I'm falling asleep a little bit. So if you
I've
got
got one.
questions,
You've
go
got one.
ahead and,
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Have you heard about these rumors about Michael Jackson still being alive?
Yeah,
oh God.
we're not doing that here.
Oh, okay. I
No.
was just making sure, I was just.
No, Richard, that's not funny. This isn't the Death Hopes channel, so keep it on Susan's other channel.
Look, sarcastic Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the channel to talk about that. Because we
have.
will
Oh,
get complete podcasts about that if I
Oh,
even
yeah,
answer
yeah.
the question. So I'm glad Nina did.
Yeah.
I
Did
have a
anyone
Michael.
see that?
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it, go on.
Oh no, it's fine, Nina. Go on.
No, go on, sweetie. You wanted me to like I'm here. Go
Oh,
on, go for it.
right.
Somebody
So,
asked to talk about the
I have a
French
question
fans, please. They want to know
about
about
the
the
Michael
French
Jackson
fans.
innocence. So Evan Chandler and the June Chandler. Do we know why June Chandler decided to switch allegiances against Michael in the 1993 accusations, or do we know anything about that? Or
I think that's speculation. But if you ask me, I think he dumped her because I think June and
Because he
Michael had a
wouldn't
thing
Wow.
going on.
Because he wouldn't give her the D.
Yeah. Or he stopped doing that.
Or he stopped giving her the D.
Because I believe I don't know if you've seen June, but June was really a good-looking woman back in her heydays, and I think she still
Oh,
looks
yeah, she
pretty
was pretty.
okay. And I think that is kind of like how Jordy came into Michael's life because he actually had more interest for his mom. But
Yeah.
that sounds gossipy, maybe, but with that I mean that he
Maybe
did
they
not
were
have
far.
interest in the little boy, he had interest in the adult woman, and I
Oh.
think they might have had a thing going because Evan Chandler was jealous for a reason. He was jealous, not he wasn't just mad at Michael, he was mad at June. So something went on there that made him say, "Oh, you're breaking up the family," and I mean, she already divorced him years before that, but still, there was a certain jealousy there. So if you ask me, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Do you want to ask me? Don't agree with that at all, Susan. We did briefly have a discussion about this on the live. And if you remember, I can't remember what the car bloke was called. Was it Dave or something?
Yeah,
Did I call him Dave? Dave?
Dave Schwartz.
That's the one. Yeah, June Chandler was actually in a relationship with him.
She was married with him.
Evan Chandler was not even on the scene in his children's lives at all at the time. The only reason he came back so much on the scene is because he found out that that Jordan Chandler had been introduced to Michael. Michael Jackson's car broke down next to Car Dude's workshop place. Can't say his name. Dave, what's his face? Michael Jackson's car broke down. His car place was nearby, so he helped Michael. Obviously, Jordan Chandler loved Michael Jackson, so when Michael came back to the car dealership to get help for his car, he said, you've got to meet him, like the child, the boy, Geordie. And that's how they kind of had that interaction. That's the first kind of initial meeting because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Evan Chandler found out about the connection and saw it as a way to cash in. It's Michael Jackson, obviously. He had no interest in his children or in June's. He was so behind on child support payments at this point as well. So it wasn't to do with being jealous about June having any kind of closeness or relationship closeness. He just kind of stirred the pot because he would have conversations with Dave.
Oh, but I agree with that too. But I mean, I think knowing men a little bit, men feel okay. I just had this conversation with one of my friends. Her husband wants to divorce her, and now decided he doesn't want to. So we were talking about this. Men are different from women. I mean, women after a breakup they feel like shit, then they start to feel better, and then they feel the best they've ever felt, and they don't want the guy back. With men, it's the other way around. They feel fantastic when they first leave their wives because they think they're all this, then they start feeling worse, and then they feel horrible and want to come back. What I think with Evan is Evan saw an opportunity because he wanted his movie out. He wanted Michael to fund his movie and all that shenanigans. Plus, he might not have seen Dave Schwartz as a real
Threat.
threat because Evan was dentist to the stars. He was a good-looking man. David Schwartz was not so good-looking. Was just an owner of a rent-a-wreck, So Evan might have thought. I mean, I'm trying to go into a guy's mind here, based on what I know from
Don't do that.
experience from the past. Evan might have thought, oh well, at any moment when I want June back, I'm gonna get her back. But what if it's Michael Jackson, So I think it's a double thing. It's both. He wanted to use Michael for his money, but he also saw that his ex-wife might have had a thing. And I'm saying I'm not sure if anything happened. I just think that there was something going on, and that he just thought, oh shit, if she ends up with him, I'm never gonna get her back whenever I want. It's like the control over her is gone. Because, you see what I mean? Am I making that clear?
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I just don't agree with it in this case. I really don't. And it's also something to point out and worth remembering that Michael wasn't only interested in Geordie being around. Wherever Geordie was, so was his little sister often, and his mum was there also. It was like, if
And
anything,
his mom, yeah, exactly. And his mom.
Yeah, it was like they came along with the mum. It wasn't the mum came along with the kids. It was the kids came along with the mum. That's how I see it.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Either she had a thing for him, or he had a thing for her, or they both had a thing for each other. It's one of the three, but there was something going on that made Evan extra mad / jealous. But like I said, that's my opinion. I don't know. What do you think, Joe? Are you still awake, Joe? Oh, poor Joe. Poor Joe. She had a very rough
asleep.
week. It paid off, but she had a
Yeah,
very
okay.
rough week.
But it's a pattern, isn't it? All these mums, they all
I'm alive.
turn on him when they don't. Hey, Joe.
I'm sorry. I had you guys on mute
There we go.
because my son came in here talking a whole lot of and I had to go whoop him.
Aww.
Yay. Did you enjoy it?
Wow. Look at
I
that.
did.
Ah,
It was rather enlightening.
Go give him an extra one for me.
Oh, no.
Okay, I will. And I'm sorry, I have not been, I mean, you guys have been talking, but I haven't really been listening, so it's my fault.
we were still
I'm sorry,
talking about the June Michael thing, where Nina said that she disagrees with me when I say that there was something going on. Either he had an interest for her, or she had an interest for him, or they had an interest for each other.
Oh,
And I asked your
okay.
opinion on it. What do you think?
Oh, well, my opinion is every woman in Michael's life had an interest in him, period. But I know we're talking about June. Yeah, it has to be something there as far as why that man, well, I believe, my opinion, why Evan jumped crazy like he did. And I do believe that Michael probably, dicked her down. I'm sorry, I forgot I can't talk like that. I believe Michael had some type of intimate engagement with June at some point, whether it was one time or multiple. And or I can't say that either. Let me stop. Please ask me the wrong questions because you know my mind and you know me, and I can't. I don't speak like the rest of you. I'm a very colorful speaking person, so it's hard for me to say that. Anyway, my opinion. I believe that there was something going on. I do. Was I there? No, I wasn't. I'm not quite sure. But if you look at back then, if you just look at the interaction between June and Michael, it just it seems, you know,
Well,
it's evident it was, and I believe that Michael. I believe that Michael did what he did, and then he moved on, and she was still probably feeling something for him, and
that
Evan knew it.
doesn't do
Evan
good.
probably called her.
That doesn't
I'm
do
just
good for
saying.
him. He just
Who?
moved on.
Well,
Bye.
I mean, yes, Michael was a hoe, but I mean, it is what it is. He was.
Well,
Well, I ain't gonna say he was
you
a
know,
hoe,
it
but
is.
he was a ladies' man.
Yeah, but it is so clear when you look at June Chandler, you look at Janet Arvizo, you look
Mhm.
at even Joy Robson in her
Hello?
good years, and
Mhm.
Hi.
hold on for a second. What's her
Wait. Did you put
Stephanie
Janet in there?
and Stephanie Safechuck? Who?
Did you
Yeah,
put
Stephanie
Janet
Safechuck.
Arvizo in there as looking good in her heyday?
Janet Arvizo was
No,
not.
Joy.
No, but Janet
She
Arvizo.
said Joy Robson. You know, Susan, Richard, will you shut up?
No, that's not Richard. Richard is muted because he had too
It
much
is.
background noise.
You muted the wrong one.
Hi.
You muted the other dude. I think Richard isn't Richard the dude with the face? The other guy's the dude with the what's it?
Yeah, Richard is muted.
Yes.
Because every time Richard's face pops up, I hear spoons, I hear rustling, I hear breathing.
No, it's now Rose at you because Rose is talking. Anyway, no, I think Janet Arvizo was not an ugly woman.
She wasn't ugly, but she wasn't cute either.
I don't think she was on the level of the other three, but she wasn't that ugly
But she-
either.
The
Yeah,
woman
but
looked
she, I don't
demented.
think she. Well, I mean, well, again, that's our personal opinion. She could have been cute to Michael. Who knows? I mean, you know, hey, I don't know.
If I was Michael, I wouldn't be interested in Janet Arvizo. Let's be honest here.
No, but that's also because we know what a crazy ass bitch it is. You know, it's
Well,
how dumb she is. So that makes her
to be
less
honest with you,
attractive too. I don't know.
my opinion of that, it comes from before this even broke out. Because
Hold on, Steve, please stop that. Tell your man to stop.
I don't
Steve.
think it...
Yeah,
What's going on?
he's in the chat.
If it matters, that will matter.
Seriously, I really get full podcasts about this. I don't want to talk about it. Don't want to see it in the
Steve,
chat
no,
either. Please stop it.
Yeah, this is. I've already reprimanded others for speaking about, you know, the believers, non-believers stuff. So that's not here, please.
It's not
Just
for
leave
you.
it
Why's he doing?
alone. Anyway, what I was saying was, my as far as my I can't even speak. I'm so tired. Before this all broke out, you know, the 2005 thing, you got to remember, I saw her and them in person at Neverland before, and she just doesn't seem like the type Michael would go for, but I mean, I could be wrong.
I don't think so either, but
So,
she was not a bad-looking woman. You know, all
well, I'm not
four
saying
were
that she
not
was
bad luck,
ugly.
and June in particular was a good-looking woman. You know, so
Yes, June was pretty. Yeah, she was pretty in her heyday. But and I'm not saying that Janet
Sorry.
Arvizo or whatever, however you say her last name, was an ugly woman. I just don't feel like she was attractive enough to catch Michael's eye.
wasn't his
That's
type.
just my opinion. But I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
I kind of agree with Jar. I didn't.
I totally agree. I'm not talking about types here. I'm talking about men.
But I do believe
Just
that
talking about
all the
men in
women
general.
of all these children, yeah, no, I do believe that all the women of all these children, they did have that attraction to Michael. I believe it was more. I do believe that they were more interested in if they could.
Yeah,
get,
Right,
you know,
because it was
have a
always
rapport with
the
Michael
women.
more so than their kids.
Yeah, but it was also always, I think Joy or Stephanie Chisechuk, or both even, said that in that movie, that they were the ones trying to contact him when they were in the US.
Exactly.
yeah. There was a one of the bodyguards said that he recalled he didn't know Stephanie Safechuck at all until he realised that she looked familiar in the film, and then he realised that she was someone trying to call out to Michael in some mall or something, some shopping mall, saying that she was trying to get his attention, saying, hey, you know my son, and she tried to get the bodyguard to tell Michael that 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 she's here, and that he knows her son, and he didn't have a clue, and Michael didn't really even acknowledge her. He just kind of just give a sort of a nod or a wave or something like that, but that was it.
And that was in 2009.
Hey, Titch.
Hello.
Sorry, Titch.
Wrong chat.
Quick question. Somebody's got a quick question here that if people in the chat if they've got a response, what everybody thinks of what the impact the French fans suing Wade and James will have on the media.
I don't know anything about it. I had hoped that someone could tell me what they're doing, because I have not had the time to.
Well, they're suing for
emotional distress.
No, well, for defamation, because the laws for defamation for someone deceased is different in France than it is for the UK and the rest of Europe. So I think they've done something like this before, where they sued, the French fans collectively sued. Like, it's just a statements thing. So they
sued Conrad Murray.
I think they did the same thing with AEG in 2000.
No, that's someone different. They Titch, you got it right. It was Conrad.
It was Conrad. Yeah, they sued Conrad,
Yeah.
and again, it's they're doing a symbolic lawsuit. So they're suing for €1 each, and I think there's like 20 of them, and I mean, in terms of impact, I think it's more of it can't be done anywhere else, so it's more of a kind of up yours to HBO and to everyone involved in this. I don't know about impact. I think it's impossible to say.
Media impact, Titch. What do you think the media impact will be?
Honestly, naffle, because the media have got the narrative and they're running with it.
Right.
If I'm honest, and I know that sounds really defeated, and I'm not trying to. It's not coming from a perspective of let's give up. It's coming from a perspective of it's going to take more than fans win it. What I think the media will do is they will try and spin it as crazy Jackson fans sue the accusers, as opposed to people are defending the legacy of a man who isn't around to say it for himself. I think they'll spin it because I think they've got a narrative. They're running with it faster than Forrest Gump.
That's why I think it. What am I hearing?
I'm sorry. I don't want to. Don't want to interrupt you guys. I'm sorry, but this I don't know her name. Cecily or Cecilia Pearl. She really wants to get on chat to talk. She like she has asked numerous times. So I don't know if you want to let her know how to do it, Susan, or what.
They have to come in Discord. The Discord link is in the description, and then they have to join the voice channel, just like Nicole. Nicole as well. You're in the chat. You just have to join the voice channel. That's all.
The channel's full, Susan.
No, I just added 2 more.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll add 2
I was going to say, because earlier I was worried I wouldn't be able to get on.
No, you're always able to get on. But that's...
Okay, and then let me say this before you guys continue. Let me say this. For those of you asking my backstory with Michael, I don't want it to sound like I knew Michael, like he was my best friend, and I had spent the night and we didn't have sleepovers and all of that. My backstory isn't really that entertaining. I mean, well, I'm okay.
Well, let's say that I will say it then. Knew him because she has met him numerous times. She has chatted with him online numerous times. So, if there is someone here, she's been to Neverland. I mean, she actually met Michael, the guy himself. You know, so not
family, Janet,
not the king of
them,
pop that you see on TV. She actually knows Michael the way he is / was.
Without being in the public eye, yeah.
So, if you have questions about how he smells, Josh, your woman.
I mean, what we're saying, what Susan is trying to say is, okay, back in the day, I used to be a moderator for Michael's, the first, well, not the first, but I don't know how new to online you guys are. MJJ Forum was a website, a fan site that Michael actually was a member of. We were able, me and a group, it wasn't just me, of fans that ran MJJ Forum. Trish Brown, Chi Chi, MJJ, FaZe, Myra, Myra Hassami, which is actually right now fiance Sugar Jonathan Moffat. She's one of my best friends from back then. She's his fiance. All of us, we were just fortunate enough back then because because he recognized MJJ Forum as being one of his #1 fan forums. He interacted with us a lot. We were invited up to Neverland numerous times for Joe Jackson Day, for just to hang out sometimes, about 10 of us. So back then we were probably going back and forth to Neverland.
You are
year, maybe.
Cutting out a little bit, Ja, so I don't know if you're on the move, but...
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Back then, we were invited a lot around to Joe Jackson Day, just different, picnics or stuff that would happen at Neverland. Super Soaker fights, that kind of thing. And because 2 of Michael's cousins lived at Neverland at the time, which was in our inner circle fan boards, which some of you might know, Levi and his brother Elijah. They were more so, in our group back then. So that's how I was able to go as much as I did and meet Michael the way I did, and Janet. And so I was in the courtroom on a Raymond Day. I was sitting directly behind Janet. Then, and during that time, I was back and forth to Neverland. After court, I would go back there, and we just kind of had access. It just by chance happens that way. So
that's great.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not like I was Michael's best friend and he was telling me everything and we was sharing pajamas or I slept in his bed. Lord knows I wish I would have, but I didn't. Nothing like that. It wasn't like he asked me to have his children, because if he did, he probably would have had a village right now. Yeah, it's not. Okay, so yeah, I just was a lucky fan. That's it.
I was about to ask about your backstory with Michael, but I was too shy to ask, so I'm glad somebody else did. Thank you.
Well, it's important to realize that she actually knows the guy himself, the way he spoke.
She knows the man and not the star.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Which is very important when you have certain people pushing certain people as being Michael Jackson online. Ja is a very good reference in that way to tell you why that's not possible.
Right. So, and speaking of, I know this is not the channel, and I'm not going to go into detail, but just as long as, well, no, that I can't say that. I knew Michael longer or met him before I even met this one. But Robert Roosevelt Anderson Jr., a.k.a. Bobby Anderson, a.k.a. Peter Medani, a.k.a. The Greatest Milestone, is not Michael Jackson. He is a 30, what? How old is he now?
He is going to be 38 in December.
Yeah. A regular fan that lives in Columbia, South Carolina. Bobby was not known before I myself personally brought him into the Michael Jackson community over almost 20 years ago. So, again, I don't have a problem with believing what they believe or whatever. If it helps you wake up in the morning, one leg in your pants for you to have a prosperous day, so be it. But I will continue to speak the truth about this particular person. He is not Michael Jackson. So please don't let nobody fool you. Please.
She is still allowed to say that out loud.
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Just
Very well said.
Just wanted to say that she is still allowed to say that as many
Yes,
times
I
as she
am.
wants.
Yes.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Someone asked for the Discord
Hi, Ronnie.
link that I just put in the chat. So if you want to join the chat, please come in. But we are with many already in the chat, so I don't know if you're actually gonna be able to get in between. There's something I wanted to say, but I totally forgot after your story, Joss. So.
I want to say something.
And it's not that guys,
hold on. I think
I'm
Rose
really...
is. I think Rose is trying to say something, but she's really quiet.
Sorry. I have a.
I can't really hear her.
No, you're cutting out too, Rose.
You're welcome.
Oh, can you hear me?
No, I hear it half.
You're cutting out.
What? Like that?
You are cutting out, so we can't hear your full sentences.
How about?
Nope.
Nope. How about? That's it.
God.
You might want to disconnect and reconnect, Rose.
Yeah, I did that so many times. Wait.
No, you wait. We're waiting. You wait.
Yeah, I'm okay. Hey, she got like 5 words in that time.
How about now?
Try to ask your question. Let's see how much we get. Maybe we can fill in the blanks.
Oh no, I just said that I had.
No.
Nope.
No.
What was the question?
I just wanted to say that's what she said, and then it cut out again.
You're being silenced. You're being silenced.
Sorry, there is no question. I mean, I forgot.
But didn't you say I have a question?
No, I said I had a.
I think
Okay,
she
what
said
was the
she had a
question?
question, but maybe you should. If you want to say something, Rose, maybe you should type it in the chat because this is really.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna.
Sorry.
Be able to hear what you say. We have Nicole in. Nicole, I'm sorry, I thought you were red, but I think that was in a different chat room. So.
I mean, I don't know what happened. I hate technology.
Because
I really do.
you've been. I think you've been.
I mean, essentially, it just took a minute. I had to unmute myself, and it just took like 5 minutes for me to actually join it. I think that's what it was.
Okay. Well, did you have a question, or did you just want to join?
Oh, well, I just wanted to join.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have a question later. We'll see how it goes.
I don't know if you heard, but we're not allowed to giggle anymore because we're a very professional podcast.
I didn't hear that. Well, I already broke that rule then. My bad.
You know, it's so funny that people actually believe that I give two Fs. You know, that they make full podcasts about how they think this is such a unprofessional podcast.
Has he gone again?
Says that.
No, but I think 2 was enough for me to actually say something back. You know, if you give the guy a chance, like, hey, dude, just send me a tweet, you know, and I'll come on your podcast and I'll talk with you face to face. Well, face to face, not face to face, but voice to voice. And he just makes another podcast and says, I'm not going to do that. You're just going to have to answer my questions in the comments. Yeah, I don't think so. So
we're not allowed to have fun? That's weird.
Sorry.
Is that the guy where... Sorry.
Yeah, the low energy one, remember?
Why is he... What's his problem? Why does he keep doing podcasts about this when he's not even going to...
Because there was a question in the chat that I had to answer because it was... hurtful, I believe. It was a question that had been asked many times before in the chat, and because I wanted to, well, it's not like I want to silence people, but you know, it was too ridiculous for me to have anything to do with this channel. So I answered the question, and yes, it was a sort of hoax question, I guess, and I just answered the question as in no way, never gonna happen, you know.
Take care, YS.
That's all I said about it, and that's why.
Oh, because somebody had put in the comments on one of our lives, do you think that Michael was behind Leaving Neverland? So you addressed it, but
Right, that
in
was it.
every live that we do here, you always make it abundantly clear, like we all do. This is the Michael Jackson Innocent Project. Yes, there are believers, and Sousa has a completely different channel for that, which you can all hop on over to. You know, she keeps it very simple. She's here because she believes and has investigated Michael Jackson for over 10 years and believes he's innocent. And that is the point of this channel, this project. This YouTube guy with absolutely no tone, no excitement, no emotion, no nothing in his voice is just talking like a brain fart. That's all he's doing.
Brain fart.
Go Nina.
It just really irks my whatsits every time I see someone. And then the guy that I won't say who he is because this woman, she's a queen and he is not her man. He is a. And he's even in these comments trying to start some drama here. Hop on over to Mr. No Tone and go and see if he'll want to give you one of his podcasts. We ain't here to be anybody's drama. We're going to laugh. We're going to talk nonsense. Jar's going to tell how Michael Jackson smells. I'm going to sing Nobby All songs. We're going to call tips. You know, we're just normal fans having a laugh, catching up with each other, wanting to see if anyone's got a question. We'll answer the questions. That's all it is. People need to just move on and stop being jealous. Susan's a legend. Susan's amazing.
Oh,
She's
God.
unbelievable deaf folks and believers in innocence too.
My high damn five.
Nina, remind me to get you to defend me.
It's just annoying that I have to walk on eggs, you know. You know who the first one was who said that? Oh, I wonder if Tosh knows. When Tosh was on here, on here talking about Michael Jackson's innocence. You know, what do people expect me to say? Hey, Tosh, you know what I believe? Why? Why? I would never do that. Not on this channel, not on a different channel, not in the world would I ever bother those people with my beliefs. You know, I might be completely nuts, but there are people, and that's why you know, maybe I should just say it in this live just once. I'm just fucking sick of it, you know? Leave me alone. Leave this project alone. If you want to bitch at me, go to my other channel. Bitch at me all you want, you know? Because there, I can have you. Here, I have to walk on eggs because this is about something else.
You got a song titling?
Huh?
I have a question right now. Sorry.
Right.
Okay.
Go on, Rose. Go on, Rose. We got you. Go.
Okay,
now.
sorry.
Go, Rose.
I just want to ask Suza, what is her channel?
Oh my
The other channel.
I'll send it in the chat later on. I'll let
But
you
you know, I did have a very important question, but I forgot. Sorry.
No, but it's just, you know, there are believers that are subliminally talking about me. There are believers that turn into non-believers that are bitching at me because I have almost 13,000 subscribers in 6 months, and it took her 10 years to do that, so that was a reason for her to bitch at me. You have people that go very low energy on their own podcasts, bitching about they don't even know. It goes on for 20 minutes, and at the end, you still think, what was your problem, dude? And then you have people like Pearl Jr. that have to whine, and, you know, I'm just...
My God, I completely forgot to tell you.
I'm just so sick of... I'm so tired of it, you know? And you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to stop doing this. That's the whole thing. I'm not going to stop doing this, you know? The harder you push, the more videos I want to make. So, just let it go. Let it go. Sorry. Go ahead.
Let it go.
Okay.
Let it go.
Okay, we have a question. Frodo1 says, I watched TMZ on the day of the 10th anniversary of MJ's death. I found it very ironic that TMZ did not mention his 10th anniversary at all. Why do you think TMZ ignored that day?
They're a bunch of dickheads, that's all.
I cannot comment on that on this channel.
I thought they did.
Because they're part of that whole narrative. They're not. They're trying. People like that are trying to mute him. That's what they're trying to do. Whilst he's not making the money, and whilst they can't slander him. If there was something dramatic to come out about, Michael on that day, as in, all the rubbish that the National Enquirer tried to do. I sent Susan a picture of it. It's like, Michael Jackson is not in his tomb. And I was just like, lol. Like, people are going to, if they think Michael can make them money, they're going to talk about him or they're going to post about him. If they don't, they're not going to do things out of the kindness of their heart because they'd have to have. So that's why.
You know what I think about TMZ? What I can say here is that I don't like TMZ anymore. I used to watch TMZ a lot. I used to watch the TMZ lives at night, and definitely when the news, the Michael Jackson news came like 10, 20 times a day, I would always follow TMZ. I am a conservative, so when I watch TMZ now, I just have to go through their page, and I'm completely annoyed within 10 seconds, so I stay away from their channel. But I do believe, and I must say, maybe not the last year or so because I stopped really following them, but TMZ might be a tabloid, and I hear that the noise again. What is it? Sauron, please.
Oh, sorry.
Careful.
It's like farting.
Stop farting, dude.
Farting.
Sorry. Boop.
But even though they're a tabloid, I do believe that TMZ is the closest to accurate for a tabloid. And with that, I'm not saying that everything they put out is true. I'm just saying that I believe TMZ is one of the least
Bullshit
from all the tabloids. But I don't follow them anymore because oh my god, I don't want to hear about the Kardashians. I don't care how big their asses are now.
Oh god, I hate them.
I just can't watch it anymore. It's not fun for me. It makes me cringe. When you see something that you don't like, sex scenes in certain movies that you think, what is this sex scene? Awkward scenes that you don't want to watch. That's what I have when I watch TMZ. Get what I mean?
Hey, Watchman.
Like watching a sex scene with your parents in the room.
Oh God!
Oh,
No,
I hate
stop!
that. Oh my god.
That would be so
Oh,
weird.
come on.
Oh
We've
my
all
God,
watched
no.
a film before and it's popped up and we're like, weren't expecting it. Awful. We've all been there.
No, not me.
No, not me.
You've never had a film
awkward.
Okay, I've had a film where I've never watched the film before. We've popped in the film to watch, and then suddenly people are getting naked. I'm sitting there next to my mother like...
What kind of mother you got?
my mum just giggles. My mum just giggles at my reaction. She finds it hilarious that I'm mortified. She's like,
For me, like,
stop. How do you think you got here? And I'm like, leave.
Parents would just like change the channel like immediately as they see
Rose,
something.
did you remember your question?
Oh, unfortunately, no.
Oh, it's okay.
I actually
Susan
have
started
one.
talking- Go on, Titch.
Sorry, because you guys were talking about it earlier, and I didn't kind of want to slip in. When you were talking about June Chandler and stuff like that, and her and Michael, and I know Nini, you think nothing happened, but Susan and Jar do. The reason I think something happened, and maybe people can disagree with me on this, maybe you can give me another perspective. I found it really weird how she suddenly just switched, and I was sitting there thinking, why would she suddenly just switch? And I thought maybe the reason why, because everyone says money. Well, realistically, if she'd have stayed close to Michael, she'd have got more money along the long term anyway, by logic, that he was, paying for them to fly private, like all this kind of stuff. So it doesn't make sense that she would do a couple of million, So
I didn't
marry David
I
Schwartz.
I didn't say I didn't think that he and her didn't have a bit of hubba. I was disagreeing with the point that Sousa made with the Sousa thought it was just because
not just
June was an attractive lady and stuff like that. I think I agreed that there was a pattern that all the women in his life have fallen in love with Michael. The kids come along as part of the, with the parents, obviously. Mm-hmm. So he falls in love with the family, not necessarily the woman, but the family side of things. I do think they had a bit, of
hanky-panky.
I think
exactly.
But I think
I don't
it's
think that was
the
reason.
normal that came with that family that he enjoyed.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
My theory about why she turned was, I think, because Dave Schwartz as well, originally he was recording Evan. So, like, when Evan was making this extortion plan. So, for me, again, it didn't make sense. So, I honestly think that Schwartz clocked on that something was going on, and Evan clocked on something was going on, and they both threatened June with it. in order to get her to turn. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I find it so weird that at the start she was like, absolutely not, nothing, no way would he lay a hand on my son. And then suddenly she switched. And people can say money, but she didn't get that much money out of it. And she would have, like I said, she would have had more money hanging out with Michael.
Well, I think Evan was holding him hostage or something.
Yeah, maybe Evan was like threatening her to hurt her son. You know, he kind of had control of her son, and he abused Geordie. You know.
Yeah, but how did he get Geordie there in the first place when he wasn't paying stuff? All he's got to do is call his ex-wife and go, "Hey, I know you're doing rumpy pumpy with Michael Jackson. I'm going to tell your husband." I feel bad saying hump or screw on a live. All he's got to do is call her and be like, "I know you're cheating with Michael Jackson. I'm going to tell Dave, unless you let me have access to my son."
Well, I
don't think they slept together though.
I don't think
I do think he loved her.
Probably.
I'm not going to say I didn't. Jar might agree. I don't know, but I don't think that. I think he did find her attractive. She was a really beautiful and naturally beautiful looking woman. June was naturally beautiful, but I don't think they did. I don't think they did get the hubba on, and not really, not fully. I don't. I do think that he found her attractive.
Bits.
No, I don't even think that really. I just think it was the normality of traveling and being around the family situation, and she was obviously the mom, and he liked that aspect of it. You know, I don't think they got as far as getting fully, the horizontal party. I don't.
If I believe that, then I would also believe that he saved the bugs from stage, and I don't. I just don't.
I've literally heard every single version of the horizontal hustle that I can hear for one evening. It's
wait,
very
I've
bizarre.
got another one. Coitus. There you go. Enjoy that one.
What's that? Say that one again.
You don't know what coitus means?
Isn't that a word for your lady area?
You know what?
So, Nina, I can't hear you. What did you say?
I said, isn't that like a name for your lady area?
No, that's coitus is sex.
Oh my god.
You're thinking of clitoris. That's the name.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't want to be banned off YouTube, please.
Today in our biology class 101.
Oh, really a bad word.
Oh my god.
And today on the Michael Jackson Innocent channel, we have an X-rated discussion.
God, said the other word, to be honest. That was
no,
more...
don't do that. Don't do that.
I still have Richard muted. Let's see if Richard has his background.
Was you muted, Ma?
Yeah, I had to mute you. You had such a terrible background noise. I don't know what you were doing.
No, sorry, I'm diabetic. I was eating, sorry.
But I forgot to turn you back on. Sorry.
Oh, thanks.
I just saw that you were still muted.
Oh, I feel special now, thanks.
About Evan, I don't think you were here yet, Titch, because you had your radio show. But Evan Chandler is connected to Jeffrey Epstein, so
yeah, I know.
Yeah, because he was a dentist there on his island. I think mainly to with that Mark Torbiner guy to actually put people down and give them all that weirdo shit. So Evan might have been more powerful than we thought at first.
Maybe that's a point. I mean, I think we have to wait. It's kind of, at the moment we're in that kind of wait and watch position, because with the Epstein thing happening, I think I've just got this feeling of like, this is like the, to use a pun that Susan will probably find amusing. No, not the golden egg, but the calm before the storm. I knew you'd find that amazing. But I think we're going to have to wait and watch, because something's happening here. And we're used to, especially with Michael, watching people get away with things, getting away with treating him badly, insulting him. Like, when obviously the thing you asked me to look at yesterday, Susa, when I was reading some of the stuff, I was horrified that people had been able to get away with saying this.
Right.
And before there was no repercussions, whereas I feel like there's been repercussions this time, and I'm not sure why. It's just a feeling I get that there's something happening, and I'm not sure what. I think by trying to cancel him, they were arrogant in their power.
Well, isn't it interesting that is what I think is interesting, and this is something that we usually discuss on the other channel. But I think it's safe to discuss here too, because it doesn't matter what side of the belief thing you're on. It is interesting to me that they would keep pushing this narrative of him being a pedophile for even 10 years after his death. And all these people that he was connected to, in a way where there've always been a lot of people that Michael was connected to where I thought, why, dude? You know, why would you have to mix yourself into company like that? Like that Al-Walid or Al-Wahid guy in is he Dubai or somewhere in the Middle East? That prince or that sheikh or whatever he is, he was supposedly friends with him. And the guy,
Michael had some very dodgy friends.
And the guy was arrested for
dodgy stuff.
Pedophilia. Jeffrey Epstein, in a way, is connected to Michael because Michael's in his phone book. I don't know why he would be in his phone book.
A lot of famous people. Have you ever watched Text Send to All? Like there's this program that a guy called Michael McIntyre in the UK does, and he takes a celebrity's phone and does send to all and sends a jokey message to all of their friends or all of their.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. All of their phone books. So he will send a message going like, "I need a naked model. Is anyone interested?" Obviously pretending to be this person, and see what responses he gets back. And some of these people, they get texts back from celebrities they've had a conversation with once. And like they've just swapped numbers, going, "Oh, maybe we'll do some business together." And out of politeness, they've swapped numbers. So,
well, it's not even his. I don't think it's his own phone number. It looks like it is the phone number of that
lawyer.
That lawyer that
Branca.
What's his name?
He was Weissman.
Jem. Solomon Jem. He's disbarred. He was disbarred, I think, around 2004.
Michael trusted the wrong people. That was
Garagos.
Michael's problem.
But it's like those people that surrounded him, the ones where you thought, why is he even around these people? As if they're falling one by one lately. Or is that just me? Oprah.
No, it's not.
Oprah was huge, at least in the US. She was, people were shitting her out here 20 years ago, but I think she was still pretty big in the US, and I don't think she is that big anymore. It's like
okay, let me interrupt you for a minute, please. I'm sorry, because it's just too much. I don't know what to tell anybody. First of all, people are asking, can anybody join voice chat? So you need to answer that, Souza. And also, there's a ton of questions that you guys are not looking at. So it's up to you what you want to do at this point. Yeah, and I'm sleepy, so I'm trying to answer everybody. I'm trying to help, but I'm about to pass out. I'm about to start cussing, and y'all know y'all don't want me to start cussing. So somebody help me out here.
Oh, okay. I'll keep an eye on the chat. Sorry. So if you have questions, guys, please put them in again. I can't scroll up again.
Can I say something?
So if you have
as far as
somebody called
chat,
Jin.
Anybody can join.
Yeah, anybody can join, but there is a max to it because otherwise people just come join and we had someone yell penis and stuff. I can't have that. So if you want to join, please let me know why you want to join, and you have to actually get permission from me to join the voice channel.
Okay, so can you please put the link back to Discord one more time? So everybody listen right now, please. Anybody that wants to come into Discord right now and then ask Souza, can you join?
You have to have either questions or something to say. I mean, we can't be in here with 30 people just listening or just joining. It's not going to work.
And I've answered Cecilia, or I'm not sure how to say her name. tried helping her, you got to come into the chat. If you are in the chat.
Can we do a deal here? We've got 2 people in Discord. We've got Anna and we've got Jen wanting to come and ask something. Rose, if you can't remember your question, sweetie, can we just say for now, switch Rose to maybe Jen or Anna, because they've both been in Discord waiting to get on to ask something.
I've been trying to get on for an hour, sorry.
But we have been asking for your question, Rose, but you don't remember.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Do you remember what your question is yet?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so we've got Anna and we've got Jin here in Discord that want to get on and have something to say. So if we can do that, maybe Suze, switch one out until somebody else has got a question.
I have 2 more spots left, so they can. Let's see, Anna
2020 and Jin Chohan both want to join and have something to say.
Okay, and then I'm gonna call you Cece. I don't know how you pronounce your name, but she has been asking for the longest time before everybody else.
I made all 3 red, so all 3 should be able to join, and I'll up the channel a little bit so people can actually join. So you should be able to join the voice. So.
Okay, now CC, I have put in. You said you were in the Discord already. I put the directions of how to get to the voice channel in there. So please look in there. I can't keep typing for him. Okay, y'all go ahead. I'm finna put my phone on mute for a second.
Okay, guys, you have to join the voice channel.
Right, Susan, while we're waiting for them to join, shall I read out a couple of questions?
Yeah, sure.
All right, okay. So Melinda Smith asked, if Evan is connected to Epstein, could he have asked Epstein to interject MJ as a favour? What do you mean by interject?
Yeah.
Do you mean like to mess with MJ as a favour? It could have been. If that's the question you're asking, if he could have asked him to mess with MJ as a favour. Yeah, it could. That.
I think he knew him back then.
Well, apparently Evan knew Epstein right back in the day.
Well, I think but I think the question is did Michael know Epstein? And I don't think we know that, because the only link we can find between Epstein and Michael is either Evan, who had a bunch of celebrity clients, and we have that one phone number in that phone book, which is most likely, as I see it, the phone number of that lawyer that he did some business with back then. And he might just have received that from someone else. You know, if you want to call Michael Jackson, here you have his lawyer's number. You know, if you want to reach him, try through this lawyer. So we don't know if Michael even had a connection to Epstein. I think there was a rumor a few years ago that Michael was on the Lolita Express, but
there's no proof of that.
No, I think the only base for that was that phone book. And it's not a flight record, but just like Titch said, I think we have to wait and see what is coming out. And I personally think that whatever is going to come out with Jeffrey Epstein, it's going to be shocking, because there's going to be a whole bunch of people on that flight list and in those sealed indictments, because I think they're going to unseal the indictment tomorrow from Jeffrey Epstein. And I think that's going to cause even more arrests, because he is linked to so many people, politicians and artists and stuff like that. And I think in the end it's going to help Michael.
Okay.
So I think it's just I know
it's confirmed that it was and Kevin Spacey were definitely on the Lolita Express.
Guys, let me intervene for a minute, because I have to go. I'm extremely sleepy and I have to work tonight. But it was nice chatting with everybody, and know that I'm good.
Okay,
know that I'm good. And
bye, Joe.
Bye, you guys.
See you.
Sleep well, Joe.
Someone says that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hold on, Rose.
I'm sorry.
Sleep well, Joe. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, I will. Bye, guys. Have fun.
Bye bye.
And
Yeah,
I
take
don't
care.
sound like that person. Bye.
Bye. Okay, Jin, you're in.
Yeah, can you
Jin,
guys
you're
hear
in.
me?
Yes.
Someone's
That
voice
rhymes.
said.
I did not. Rose, please. I can't hear Jin.
Yeah, I just wanted to come on about the June Chandler thing. I think she had to switch sides because she would have lost custody of Jordan because of the
Yeah, well, that's why
lawsuit
I.
that
That's
Yeah,
what I thought.
that's exactly why I said he was more powerful, maybe, than we thought, and that's why she might have been scared because he was.
Yeah, because he went
threatening her.
to because he went to a psychiatrist and that's how he started the lawsuit. He basically gave them a scenario and he goes, your son is possibly in a bad situation, so he could have used that against her.
I think it's known that he did use that against her. I was just putting forward a
yeah.
potential other theory because of I'm never satisfied.
Yeah.
No, but it's a good point about him potentially being more powerful than we thought.
Yeah.
I think that's something we have to consider.
Well, I was surprised because I think I threw that in a live a few months ago even, about that one of Jeffrey Epstein's human traffickers.
That was in the other one, I think.
No, it was in this. I believe it was in one of these lives where, and I asked people to dig into Rachel Chandler because she was a victim of Jeffrey Epstein, who later, and I mean this theory, all theory, people don't come after me, all theory, but she started trafficking for Jeffrey Epstein, and I asked people if they could actually find a link between Rachel Chandler and Evan Chandler because I wondered if they were family, and then people came with that, hey, but Evan Chandler was actually a dentist for the Epstein. Cece, you have a huge echo. Please turn down your volume on your computer.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing.
Cece.
I'm sorry.
Cece, if you're listening to the live,
Yes.
you have to pause it, otherwise it will repeat. So pause your YouTube.
Or mute yourself.
Right,
yeah.
for now. Yeah.
For now, that will work too.
Right.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right, and that's how
that Evan was in fact close to Epstein.
Yeah, so I'm still not sure if he is related to Rachel Chandler, but he is clearly connected to the Epstein, which makes it even more interesting if you think back that Michael would actually break down right there where he had the opportunity to meet Chandler.
Can I hear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just feel like I climbed Mount Everest. This is Cece.
Hi, Cece.
Hi.
Hey.
I forgot what I wanted to say now. No, I'm just kidding.
Been there, done that.
Yeah,
What I was-
we
what
have
I
that
was-
effect to people, apparently.
I'm just real quick. I'm just have to go now, but I just was so excited about this chat and looking for something like this for years since he died. I'm 56 years old. I grew up with Michael Jackson. I grew up with the Jackson 5. I've written a blog, and we're the same sign, and I've met him twice. What I really wanted to say is that we have to take culpability in the fact that Michael was murdered. I feel like now that he's gone, so many people are starting to see who he was and understand who he was. And it always happens after a murder or someone is gone. The bottom line is Michael Jackson's spirit and who he was as a human being was so different than most people in that he was sincerely a pure, his whole heart was open in general, regardless of his talent. And he was shy because he was so open, because he was so open to others and was so sweet and innocent in general. Now you add that to the fact that by the time he was 10 years old, he had been practicing in that 2-bedroom house with his brothers. They slept in 4 4 stacked bunk beds in a one bedroom in that teeny house. They were smashed together with one bathroom. Imagine all these people, okay? So he was used to having people close to him. He was used to being around a lot of people. He was used to sleeping in a bedroom that's how he was raised. In the 60s, we would go over a black, well, I don't know about, I can speak for myself. We would have go over people's house. My girlfriend's friend, we would have go over people's house and your cousin, your aunt, and sleep overnight on the weekends. That was our fun. We're going to Shelly's house to sleep. She spent a night at my house. I spent a night at her. So that's just part of what we did in the 60s. It just doesn't mean anything.
We did that in the 80s too.
Okay, good. But see, the problem is that way he was raised is still part of who he is, as is all of us. When he became famous, Jackson 5 came out, went to Motown. Their first try got signed like the next day. The first three records they recorded went number 1. They went from being no one to the next day having people chasing them in cars. They couldn't go. So Michael Jackson is 10, 11 years old, and from that age, this was his life. Nobody on this earth can imagine what that was like. Not even Sammy Davis Jr., who was a child star, because when he was famous, he couldn't even go into where he was performing. So they were isolated. But the Jackson 5 just got right on in the middle of like mayhem. And you have to understand that Michael Jackson, as shy as he was and withdrawn, the talent was something else. It was another personality. Everybody can agree with that. But when you are shy like that and you cannot be a child, you cannot go to the store, you cannot, at 10 years old, it never ended. From the time he was, not only did it not end, it got worse. So he, as a person, he was a regular guy. Somebody said if Michael Jackson wasn't Michael Jackson, he'd be the guy sitting on your couch, you wanting to get out of your house. He was just a simple person. But at the same time, he was intelligent. And at the same time, he witnessed the music industry and the corruption and how he idolized James Brown. He idolized Jackie. Those were his influences. That's all when he was a kid. Those were the greatest stars. But he also knew that Jackie Wilson never made any money, that he died broke. He also knew that James Brown managed his own business and was in charge of everything and understood the business of show business. He took counsel from James Johnson, who was the editor of Ebony magazine, and he was very close to Berry Gordy. So when Michael Jackson blew up, which we all knew he would, and rightfully so, he understood what to do so he wouldn't get taken advantage of, because as a child, that's what he was around. So you take that kind of energy and you say, okay, why are you putting masks on you? Why are you weird? Why are you? Because he can be. So what? So what's happened with the allegations, and I'm skipping all around. So, when Michael Jackson acquired the publishing rights to Sony, and made a brilliant business deal that nobody saw coming. About 3 days after that, the first sexual allegation, about a week, came out about him. The minute he got that power, not only power, but money and fame and influence, they became intimidated, meaning the people at Sony. This is my opinion, and I think it's halfway right. Because that's when all the stuff started happening. That's when they were like, okay, this guy, they took his kindness for a weakness. And the fact that he loved children makes so much sense to me. And most people look at it as sexual. That man was a man. Michael Jackson had more sex with more women than we would ever know. Okay, he wasn't probably look at the way he dances. He was fucking. Okay, he was fucking. Maybe he was a late bloomer. But believe me, he was not interested in anything but grown ass women.
Okay, can we try not to use the F word?
I'm so sorry. I'm getting excited. I apologize. He was having sex regularly, like most men do in their 20s and 30s and 40s. I'm sorry. I'm just excited. But my point is, my main point is that really, and the thing that also when he made when he acquired Sony and got that power and got that Michael Jackson was giving some of the black recording artists that were under his portfolio, because it wasn't just, it was many, still is. He gave Little Richard all of his hello. He gave Little Richard most of the royalties that were stolen from him that he did not receive. He gave a lot of other artists, smaller artists that we don't even know about, the money back that was stolen from them during the years when black people were taken advantage of because they didn't have any idea what show business was. They were just going along because they enjoyed what they were doing. This is what broke the camel's back with Sony and with a lot of these major record managers. And they could, first of all, this man has power and ownership. Second of all, he's given back the money too. Oh, that was the end of that. And so they had been gunning for him ever since. I never believed he was a child molester. I never will. I believe him when he says it's not in his heart. I mean, second of all, with all these accusations, these two guys, Wade and the other boy, after 10 years, man, you don't do it. The man, he's been dead and buried today. And now you're going to come out and say and it was very convincing. And it was very convincing because they had 10 years to prepare how to present it because they knew the questions.
Oh, what was convincing?
I thought that the documentary that Wade and the other boy did, coming back to Neverland, finding Neverland, to people who are on the fence about Michael Jackson, could have been very convincing. The way it was presented, the way they were speaking of what happened. If you weren't sure yet about Michael, you weren't sure. You don't. What?
In the doc, there is some truth how they met him and stuff. So.
Well, sure, of course, but I don't believe the sex happened. I don't believe the sex happened ever.
Of course not.
All right, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that happened 10 years after gone.
I don't see how anyone can think it's even remotely believable.
It's emotionally manipulative.
But a lot of people do.
And that's
I agree
what makes
with you
it
guys.
convincing to some people.
Exactly.
It's emotionally manipulative.
Exactly.
I see what she's trying to say.
It is exactly what the media has been doing with every topic this mostly this year. It's never been as bad as it is this year. 2019 is like hoax year or something.
Because they want people to believe it. That's all. The ones that are on the fence to believe so because they want money.
Yeah, but it's all about money. What they use is emotion. They play on people's emotion.
Yes,
look
absolutely.
How bad. Look
Yeah,
how this.
And they did it well.
I will say, I think also people want to believe it. People who are neutral, some of them, they want to believe that it's true.
Exactly.
Well, they all want to believe that it's true. But one more quick thing, then I'm done. The fact that Michael had to be around children it really bothered a lot of people, and I get that as a grown man. But you have to understand, and you have to try to imagine what it would feel like to be you. Whenever you're 13 and 12, remember when you're 13 and 12. Can you imagine being that age? Put yourself in his shoes, and you have to work. You have to support your family. You're the only one everybody's looking at. You can't go outside. You can't just run. You can't. And that kind of emotional stifling of his energy at that time had an effect on him. And so when he became free, he said, I'm going to make my life, I'm going to do what I didn't have a chance to do. And I want to be around children because they don't expect anything from me. They just want to play. And I get that. And that's what he chose to do. I think it's, kind of off kilter too, but I never thought that he hurt a child. Never.
Well, I believe it's a little different even than that. I think he wanted to protect those kids. I think Neverland was a way to protect children from certain, because most of the children that he was close to were children, either child stars or Hollywood figures or whatever.
Yes.
And I don't think that he was only with these kids because he felt that he needed to have a child. Sure, that was a part of it, but I also
right.
If I
wanted to ensure that children had a childhood.
Finish.
You're right. That's absolutely. We're both correct. I agree. You're 100% right.
I wasn't done yet, but
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
What I meant to say is that he had those kids around him for a certain period a day, and he would entertain those kids. He would maybe talk to those kids. I have whole other thoughts as to why he had certain kids around him, and not because he wanted to touch them inappropriately at all. I believe that once the kids were asleep, he would leave the room and do his own adult things in a different room.
Exactly.
Thank you.
It's not just Michael Jackson wants kids around him, sleeps with kids. No, I think he might have been completely done with the kids and happy that they were finally falling asleep so he could do his own thing.
There's no way you would want kids
I agree
always
with you.
around.
I agree with you. And you're right. I didn't finish my whole point, but you're absolutely right. But
I just believe that Michael has suffered certain things himself, which made him such an advocate for children's rights and such an advocate for children.
Yeah.
And they tried to take him down with with the thing that he fought very hard to prevent himself with Neverland. That's what I believe.
Oh, that was so painful. That was horrible.
That's it.
You know, the documentary is about like people who believe it are the ones who see this sort of Mickey Mouse character, you know, the one they see on TV, the guy with a globe and stuff. So they don't know him.
Right.
So when they see the story about him, they automatically.
None of us really do.
But it is brilliant in a way too. People see him as a freak and as weird. It's actually pretty fucking genius what he did. I think last year that it came out that he I know that Titch is reading it now. He was reading the 48 Laws of Power, and I don't know if you know.
That book's a fucking trip.
Right. It tells you exactly how to become a
you
fucking
understand
boss.
Michael Jackson when you read that book,
right?
Like his public persona, you get it. Whereas before I was like, but why did he do this? But why? It's called the 48 Laws of Power, Nina. Once I'm finished with it, I'll lend it to you.
Oh yeah.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this book. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
Well, he had it, and it was actually sold. He had a copy of it, and he made notes, and his notes were sold. In the book, and specific ones that he had highlighted, I then went back and had a look at, and a lot of things make sense when you're reading this book about certain things that he did. You know, things where people are like, oh, but why did he do that? Even fans that question why he did things. I think that book I personally would recommend, because I think that it would clear a lot of things up. Even just reading the contents, because it gives a basic breakdown. Even just reading the contents alone was an eye opener. Let alone,
you know, and I don't believe that Michael could just walk the streets like that or whatever. But I do not believe that whatever he made you see what he wanted you to see, and when he went out in the street, I think most people would just walk right by him as long as he wouldn't smile, because that's very recognizable, and as long as he wouldn't have those ugly ass loafers on, I think he would be pretty anonymous.
You hate those loafers, don't you?
Oh God.
Loafer hater.
Well,
it just
loafers.
It's like slippers. No, there's nothing wrong with loafers, but most of the time the loafers he wore were like, 5 years old or something, you know?
Oh, that's very true.
That's what Dennis
He's a billionaire, you know. You can at least wear nicer ones.
No, I think...
And I bet they were probably very expensive. That's not my point.
Let
me say one thing real quick.
Not too many people at once. Please be careful, because you're making me deaf.
You're right about the fact that he probably could have taken a chance and walked outside and, whatever. But if one person recognized him, that would cause a whole mob of people to recognize him. You know what I mean? He didn't. It's got to be tiring having to.
Yeah, but he said himself he went out as a Jehovah's Witness, even door to door.
Wear disguises.
Yeah, but people would say, "Oh, you look like Michael Jackson." Oh, yeah, I hear that a lot. You know, his voice.
I love that.
His voice was fake. He didn't have that high voice. He had a much lower voice. He could have. He could have had dark makeup on. And
right, we're both saying the same thing.
he might have not have his weaves in or his wigs on, and not be wearing his loafers and his red shirt, and not his fedora, and maybe just a simple afro or whatever hair he had under that.
I'm telling you right now.
And the only thing people would maybe say is, "Oh, you remind me a little bit of Michael Jackson." Oh yeah, thanks. I hear that a lot. That's it.
Not me. Not me.
No, but there has been.
You're right. There's a possibility of that happening.
If he doesn't smile, he has the right makeup on, I don't think that you would see him. Not even if you would look for him.
But then again, the same point. I mean, he has to wear makeup. He has to prepare if he wants to go out. He has to, make sure this
I have
is
to
in
wear
place.
makeup if I go out in public.
But you wouldn't attract a mob.
No, but he...
have a potential.
She probably bloody would.
Wrong mob.
You're not saying she'd attract a mob.
You don't know. You don't know.
I'm sorry, I take that back. I don't know.
Mobs.
Well, hopefully the mob would be a safe mob, a friendly mob.
Would I just be able to say something to Cece about the fact with where you were mentioning about the fact that when he would go on, he'd have the bunk beds. And I do honestly think that Michael honestly felt safe and secure and happy when he had the kids sleeping, because that was all he knew.
Mm-hmm.
So I do kind of agree with you on that score. But the believability of the Leaving Neverland accusers, I mean, literally, I've had people say to me that they literally don't believe it because they find Wade annoying.
Yeah.
And
he's very arrogant.
And literally, and I know I've still got an uphill battle to just kind of educate people and say, look, this is, they say this. However, what you've got to remember is this.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it is, and Titch is right. It is it's emotional manipulation of the highest order.
Yes. Which is the difference between that and believability. When Cece said it's convincing, I knew what she was talking about, because you feel like the voice in your head that says, I want to be a good person, doesn't want to believe someone would lie about something like this. So when these people are sitting there being so graphic and they're trying to emotionally manipulate you, it is very hard for people who... Because nowadays, the world is run, society is run by emotions. We're not run by facts. We work by our emotions, which is really detrimental. That's how we run. That's how we work.
That's true.
And that's
Very
how
true.
people win elections. That's how people, do a bunch of things. So when you're working off an emotion in a society and someone is trying to emotionally manipulate you, and you are not the kind of person who make the effort to find the fact,
right,
you are going to be convinced because your emotions tell you to be convinced.
Yep, especially if you're not really sure in the first place.
That.
Yeah.
Or you have an opinion that's negative in the first place.
Yes.
I would say if anybody has seen Leaving Neverland, I made a documentary. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's the Aftermath one, and I've just done a new one, the one that I showed at the theatre here. And
I love that Aftermath documentary. You did a really good job.
I haven't seen to see it.
I heard it.
It's online, so watch the theatrical one.
Who made that Aftermath one. Yeah, I have it on the website.
Oh yeah, update it. I've done a new one, the one that I showed here in Hollywood.
Oh, you did a new one? Oh, I have to.
Yeah, I put new information in it, and I put the 10th anniversary. I went down and I filmed some stuff too.
I just watched the choreographer's, what's his name, documentary.
I haven't seen
Lavelle
that
Smith.
Lavelle,
Yes, I totally loved it, and
Me too.
it was so emotional. Oh.
Me too. I cried.
I'm so behind. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot talk about that documentary yet because I simply haven't seen it yet.
I didn't know it was out yet.
I'm going through the chat for a little bit here. Hold on, someone has a huge echo. I think it's still you.
I have my other. All I'm on is my laptop. Everything else is.
Yeah, but if you have sound coming from your speakers and your laptop, that will give an echo. So
okay, should I
make
put a
sure that
headphone?
your sound, headphones would be even better.
I'm in the car.
I have Peggy in the chat. Michael Jackson was a devoted Jehovah's Witness as Prince. No, sir.
Yep.
He wasn't anymore.
No, he wasn't anymore.
Karen Faye says that even though he converted, deep down he was still Jehovah's Witness.
No, Michael is a Christian.
He really showed that.
Michael, someone following Jesus wherever he was. Apparently, he didn't agree with a lot of. You can have a certain bond with a church still without completely agreeing with them. And I think that's more what it. Yeah, I think that's more what it. I don't think he was registered to any church or any denomination anymore.
He studied a lot of religions,
and he just
he did study like so many religions, like from I don't know, basically.
Not Scientology, is it?
Well, yeah, he studied other religions to understand, but he has always been a Christian. It's not like he stopped being a Christian. I don't believe he was a Jehovah's Witness in the end, even though he might still have been going to certain meetings. But I do not believe that he would not be a Christian anymore.
I heard he converted to Islam, but I don't think that's true.
No, I asked Tush.
No, it's not.
I asked Tush. He said no.
He had an interest.
Can I say something?
He had an interest in this religion, but even
who is that?
He's not converted, but he's not converted. That's completely different. Because you know why I think he converted? That's because some singer who has almost the same voice as him sang a song about a religious song.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That came out around 2009, but that was not him.
About Islam's prophet, but his voice was just similar, and people confused it a lot of times, and it got viral and stuff, and they thought it was him.
Yeah, but was fake news. Fake news. I believe he was very interested in certain religions, but not because he wanted to be converted, but just because he wanted to understand certain things.
Yeah.
Michael is a Christian, always been a Christian. Cece, there's too much noise coming from you, please. I don't know what you're doing, but...
I did read that...
Cece said she had to leave, so...
Oh, I'm going to mute her then, because...
Is the noise coming from Jin?
No, the noise was coming from Cece. I muted her.
Oh, I'd love some gin.
Can I say something?
Go for it.
The mic is
You know Joe Jackson?
Do I know Joe Jackson?
Not personally.
No, I mean Michael Jackson's dad, right? He used to beat him up and stuff like that. Do you reckon that's connected to him spending time with children and stuff?
Oh my God, your accent. Titch,
what's wrong with it?
Oh, she can't understand you. Richard said... For God's sake, Susan.
Bless her.
I've got so much background noise.
Can someone mute someone who's doing that? Susan, can you mute the person who's scraping?
I think it's Cece still.
No, Cece is muted.
No, Anna's muted Cece. I can see it on here.
I don't see
Anyway, sorry, let me translate.
Please.
Richard said, do you think Joe beating Michael had something to do with why he wanted to be close to children?
That's it, yeah.
No.
I think his childhood in itself as a whole had him wanting to protect children. I don't think it was just Joe. Because I know people who have been beaten by their parents and don't feel the necessity to protect and to take care of children and be around children the way Michael did. I think it was everything involved, including stuff that we don't necessarily talk about on this channel.
Right.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I
Thank you!
What she said.
You're welcome.
Let's see, hey...
Oh, Susa, sorry, before I forget, I watched Thriller earlier.
Oh.
With my husband, he had to hug me. I was terrified.
Oh my god.
I'm so proud of you, Tick.
Honestly, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Mary is asking, can you interview Geraldine Hughes? Well, if Geraldine is listening to this, or anyone who knows her, please ask her, because I tried to contact her and I don't get any reply, so I'm not gonna bag.
Oh no.
And same goes for, hey Susan, have you reached out to see if any of the MJ staff or housekeepers would like to come on your show? Honestly, I don't know which one you mean. I have had short contact with Bill Whitfield, but that was... I actually want to wait until that thing comes
Bill
out.
Whitfield, yeah.
But, yeah, I think he did that documentary with Matt Fidesz.
Matt Fidesz.
Yeah, I believe. So, and that still has to come out, so maybe after that it might be interesting to ask if Bill and or Matt... we had Matt on the live before to see if they... might want to say
Remember
something.
my question.
Ow!
Oh, oh, go ahead before I forget.
What's going on?
Yes, sorry. About Geraldine Hughes just announced that she was going to release a movie of her book, Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on that? Because I'm really excited for the movie, and I think what's his name, Valentino, the impersonator, the one who's been working with Michael for years, is going
Ernesto.
to star in it or something.
Ernesto Valentino.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be good. Like, it's really going to help people seeing the truth. What are your thoughts on that?
I haven't read her book, so I don't know.
It's gonna be like a Lifetime movie, or
I've heard a lot about the book, and the book in itself is about, obviously, because Geraldine worked in the scum-sucking rodents office. That I've heard it's quite good. I haven't yet read it. I've got so much stuff to read, so I haven't had a chance to read that one. But I think it will be interesting. But I mean, I've mentioned before, like, I appreciate that it will give a medium for people to learn without having to read, because some people don't want to put the effort in to read. They'd much rather just sit down and watch the film, which I get. I'm not too keen on films being made with a Michael character in them, because it's not Michael. But it's no one's. I said this before. No one can be Michael. It's like Princess Diana. No one can be Princess Diana. So
no.
Yeah, it's like if you did one about whoever, like Nelson Mandela. No one can be Nelson. But I think it will potentially be a good way, as long as they stick to the book and don't do dramatic, poetic license. I do think it would potentially be a good avenue to get more information out to more people in an easier fashion.
You ever seen a film called Man in the Mirror?
Yeah.
Oh god, it's terrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Was that the one? Which is the one with the scene where he comes down the steps that is apparently Neverland? That looks. I've never been to Neverland, but looks nothing. And he pulls down his trousers, stands on the chair.
That's the Channel 5 documentary, Man in the Mirror, the Michael Jackson story.
That's Man in the Mirror. When
it was awful. Why
it wasn't the best.
No one needed to see that. I didn't need to see his pants coming to his ankles. That was awful. It was really degrading watching it.
But
I don't think I've seen that. Then
it allowed us to see what he went through somehow.
The Man in the Mirror movie.
I didn't need to see what he went through. You can hear it.
2005 was the film. 2005.
It was around about 2003. It's got Flex Alexander in it.
I think that's right. That's it. Yeah.
2016.
Yeah, there's Elizabeth Taylor's.
I've got the DVD. Somewhere.
Didn't see that one. What?
It's a really dreadful movie.
They've got that as a DVD.
Yeah.
You guys like American Dream?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
American Dream.
Yeah, the Jacksons.
That was the one about the Jacksons, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Did Razor Fist do another rebuttal? I don't know. I hope so. I love Razor Fist.
I love him.
I
He's
follow
quite
him.
good.
I haven't seen any news.
I watch
He
all
talks a lot, though.
I watch all his videos because he does gaming and politics too, and
Yeah.
I mean I agree with like everything he says on politics, so it's so fucking hilarious.
Well-
The way
You've got to get him on here, Sousa. I love him.
Oh, I
love
couldn't
him.
talk to him. The guy is genius into just rambling on and on and on and on and have everything on point, and I'm so
It would not be a family-friendly one.
Oh, I'm so
No.
definitely
I
not.
would allow the swearing.
Jesus
I would allow the
Christ.
swearing. Get him on.
It would be demonetised within about 2
I
seconds.
en-
He'd come on and say his name, and that's it. Demonetisation.
But I envy
Yeah.
people who can actually get their point across like that. You know, it's so awesome how he does that.
I really admire that.
You've got to get him on. Get him on.
He's a
please,
master
Sousa. Just-
ranter.
But you guys
Yeah.
have to watch his other videos too. I mean,
What's his other one?
Oh, I do.
I saw this
Seen
whole
them.
Trump discussion again here I mean, people trash me
Don't
for
press the
being a
buzzer.
Trump supporter, but they love Razor Fist. Well, Razor Fist is a Trump supporter, so go
Razor
to
Fist is
his
a bigger Trump
channel.
supporter than you are.
I think he's
See
way
why it's
bigger
called Razor.
than me, but he has everything so on point and so hilariously funny. It's oh god, yeah, I love his channel. So
But you can disagree
Speaking of
with someone
Trump-
politically and agree with what they do. Sorry, Nina.
That's all right. I was going to say, speaking of Trump, and sort of bringing back to a point that Titch made about that this time around, the tides have slightly turned on trying to cancel Michael Jackson. Did you notice that now it's not been so well received, all this slanderous stuff, and Trump happens to be the president now?
Of course, you pressed the buzzer.
Sorry, just
I'm going to mute myself and step away from my phone. I'll be back in 5 minutes when everyone's done speaking.
there's the trigger,
No.
the Trump trigger. Let's see. We're
I
at here.
mean-
See,
I
we
mean-
went from 145 to 126. You scared 19 people away, Nina.
See, you pressed the buzzer. You just blew away 19 damn people. This is like Sousa and her Barbie chat all over again.
All right, my Barbies.
That
Who
was the
doesn't
worst.
love
I'm
a
still-
Barbie?
No, honestly,
Ooh.
Sauron, if you listen to that live, you will switch it off.
Ken and Barbie. Yeah, here we go.
Oh God. Sorry, what were you saying, Nina? They're slowly coming
was
back,
saying-
so go ahead.
yeah,
They're
I
gonna
was
go
just
again
saying
soon.
That Titch I mean, you were talking about Trump just then, and everybody kind of liking Razor Fist, and he's a Trump supporter. But Titch was mentioning earlier that she thinks, with reading everything that people were allowed to do and get away with about Michael Jackson, you know, that now with the Leaving Neverland thing, trying to cancel him, it's not been so well received. And it just so happens that things are slightly different this time around, that things are starting to come out, things are starting to happen, that it happens to be when Trump is currently the president of the United States. I'm thinking that maybe if Trump wasn't in the position that he was in, that and Leaving Neverland came out and all the stuff to cancel Michael was happening in order to, I don't know, use Michael as a poster child to normalise paedophilia. Maybe if Trump wasn't the president, that it wouldn't be kind of going this way. I think it would maybe have taken a different turn. You know, maybe they would have got the reaction that they were hoping for. I don't know. I mean, Trump has,
I think so. I think you have a good point there.
yeah.
Can I put
don't
another
know.
point out,
He
though?
He-
Social
Sorry.
media has helped kill the shit out of it. I will say that as well. I'm not saying you're wrong, Nina. I don't know.
No, I do agree. I do agree.
but
Social media
social
does have a big
media-
part to play.
Us having the right, us as the general public having the right to form our own narrative is what, in every sense.
Yeah, but
and that's,
who made Twitter as big as it is now?
that seems like a trick question I'm not willing to get into. But I'm saying that social media in general is, I think, a big part of it as well. But I don't know enough about American politics to make a statement, but I think there is a multitude of factors, and I don't think the media is as powerful as they like to. Shh, you be quiet. Sorry, my dog. I don't think the media is quite as powerful as they once were for several reasons.
Well, it's interesting
Because
to
Trump
see.
is always saying fake news, isn't he? Always.
Yeah, but
He's always putting it
But
look for
realize
yourself, not-
that he is saying the exact same thing that Michael has said for decades. he didn't say fake news. He says the media lies, burn all tabloids. But I mean, he's the one starting the whole fake news thing. Trump is just continuing what Michael was doing, you know. Stop watching your TV. Stop listening to what the media tells you. The media lies to you. Trump is saying the exact same thing, but for some reason, when Michael says it, it's good. And when Trump says it, it's not good, and he wants to silence people. It's very interesting to witness. Who went to the toilet?
Certainly wasn't me.
Why do you keep allowing Richard to be here? He's really been annoying me.
Who just peed on my live?
It was Richard.
Wasn't me.
Did someone pee? I stepped
No.
away
It was
because I thought it was
Richard.
going to kick off, and now I'm back. Is someone having a pee on the live? You need Jesus. Whoever had a winkle on the live needs Jesus.
Oh, just. Oh, there goes our professional podcast again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, something giggling. Someone peed.
I've got something. I think personally, I think the biggest enemy Leaving Neverland actually has is Leaving Neverland for its many believability issues and stuff like that. Like, I think any damage to Leaving Neverland is you can plainly just leave on Leaving Neverland's doorstep.
Suzette, about what you said about the Trump thing. Maybe it's true, you know, what he's saying about the media, but, you know, actions actually speak.
Hold on.
What?
Richard, I don't know what you're doing, but you... Lots of noise coming from you. Yes.
The one that had the Wii on live.
Sorry. Go again, Rose.
Was that me?
Right. So, about the thing that you said about Trump, but, you know, actions actually speak better than words. You know, whatever he says about the media, he with his actions, he has proven, like, so many things, you know, with the whole migration thing, and, you know, he really... What I'm trying to say is that maybe he said all those things about the media, but his actions, you know, are just showing the complete opposite.
Oh, but I absolutely agree with him on the media, because the media is fake news. I mean,
exactly, yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's about
with
Trump, or if it's about Michael Jackson, or if it's about the weather even. Everything they say, I don't believe a word they say anymore. I mean, look at the whole Jussie Smollett thing, and I had a fight actually with someone a few weeks ago on a discussion in the comments, and you don't even know if there's any evidence that he hoaxed it. Well, thank God there's the video. You can see him walking the street with those guys, you know. But everyone fell for it, and the media just jumps on it. That's why I wanted to do the part 3 of the hunt about the media, because it was bad back then in 1993 and in 2005, but it's, I don't know, there's no ethics at all in journalism anymore. Nothing.
There's no logic.
There's no logic either. It's copy and paste. They literally have the exact same narrative. It's not just the same narrative, it's the same script. It's as if they get a script every morning from whoever and whatever, and I included in the new video that what's her name, Lara, she was from CBS, I think. She came out a few months ago about the bias of the media, and she says we're not even wondering why they all say the same thing and blab the same lie. We're not even wondering or asking questions as to who is behind it, who is paying them to say stuff like that. And that, to me, is interesting.
Bottom line, whatever side of the political spectrum you're on, if we're being manipulated, there's an issue.
Right. It doesn't matter if you're left, right, center, blue,
unicorn,
red,
doesn't matter.
Unicorn. I don't care what you are. You should be able to get a balanced report when you turn on your news. Yeah. Well, at least a pursuit of the truth, you know? At least journalists have to press for the truth. They have to dig deeper and ask questions and not just get this script in the morning and read that as if they're robots and make you believe that whatever they're saying is true when it's clearly not. You know, and I'm just baffled that there aren't people more mad about it or something, you know? Doesn't matter. It is like certain people when they think, oh, it's benefiting me now, so it's okay. You know, even if the media was on my side of the spectrum, you know, if I agreed with them, if the balance was all on one side, it should still make you wonder what the fuck is going on here. Why is it so? Get what I mean?
Yeah.
Can I add something real quick?
Sure.
In terms of Trump, I'm not a Trump supporter. Actually, I'm not really too fond of any politician at the moment. But I do agree with Trump in terms of his comments on the media. It is a little work every day, well, every weekday, about 3 blocks away from Trump because I work in DC.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's whenever I am sitting at my desk and I get like a news alert from CNN on my phone or something, it's just like, why do you guys keep and everything he says on Twitter, they got to report on it. Okay, we know he says stuff on Twitter. I mean, at this point, honestly, I think he's just doing it to piss them off.
Oh, but it's brilliant what he's doing, even to his mistakes. Look at the airport comment that he made with the Revolutionary War.
Yes.
Everyone like, oh, and he doesn't know his history, and what a stupid idiot. No, what he has now is that the media that didn't want to report on his day are all reporting on his day now. The guy is a marketing genius, and people think he's stupid. No, he acts stupid, you know, to have people report on him. It's Michael loved the guy. Barnum said that too. Doesn't matter if the attention you get, if it's positive or negative, attention is attention. It's all good for business.
Yeah.
He's entertaining. He's entertaining.
Oh God, I think. But I've said that to people. I've been following Donald Trump for a decade now, so I know that what he's doing now is not really how he is. He's playing some kind of role, and it's working. And they fall for it. The media falls for it. They're idiots.
I always wondered that too. If he's, because I honestly thought that he's not putting on a show. I mean, it's like the more you talk about him, the more relevant he is, and the more attention he gets, and that's what he wants.
Exactly.
I mean, boy, I mean, he is a businessman. That's what they do.
Exactly. He knows exactly how to get attention. You know, and he knows exactly that if he wants $1 billion, that he has to ask for 2 or 3 billion. You know, and people start talking about it and start whining and screaming, and he gets the attention, and eventually he settles for whatever he thought was right in the first place. The guy is a genius. And whether you
Sorry to interrupt you guys.
Or not like him.
Question.
Yeah.
There's some questions in the chat that we're skipping. Sorry to interrupt your political discussion.
Just before you ask the questions. I'm actually going to leave the chat because I've got to go to bed because it's like nearly 11:45 here and I'm really tired.
It's 11:45 for half of us. Come on. Drink some coffee.
I'm staying up.
Hey, it's like 6:45 here.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to leave yous.
Okay, sleep
well. Take care.
See you later.
May the force be with you.
Don't put baby in the corner.
Right. Oh God.
Who's Bieber?
I am. Sorry, Rex.
Okay,
Someone quite a while back. No, you can't. No one called me that. It was a joke. Someone put in the chat a while back, like, has anyone bought Neverland? And there was a rumor that Prince was going to buy it. I haven't, as far as we're all aware.
Prince?
Neverland's still up for sale. Yeah, Prince Michael's son. So as far as we're all aware, you know, Trump. See, I was going to say Trump. See it in the chat. As far as we're all aware, Prince has not bought it. You know,
He doesn't
So-
need to buy it. I mean,
He doesn't. Yeah, some people said he wanted to buy it. I would be very surprised if he did, because Neverland is so expensive to keep up, like
But
a million a month apparently.
Titch, you're talking about Prince, his son, Prince.
Yeah,
He doesn't
Yeah.
have the funds for that.
well, I didn't say he had the. I'm just people are asking, but even if he did, it's like $1 million a month to obtain it. It's like a lot to take on.
Right,
What is
and,
it, 24,
Prince
23?
Prince hasn't received anything, or actually, his name is Michael. His name isn't even Prince. He hasn't received anything from the trust yet, from the estate. So there's no way he could afford it.
Yeah, when they're 25, right?
Yeah.
No,
He won't,
21. I think was they should have, or no, I think 30. With 30, there's actually a certain amount that they're gonna get. And up until
It
then,
costs-
I think they're getting a certain allowance, but there's no way he can afford that.
Yeah. So anyway, so someone asked that, and as far as we're aware, no. Someone said, Lindsay Petite, sorry if I've butchered that, Lindsay. Why are two liars allowed
Killed
to
it.
destroy an innocent man's legacy? Why are people allowing this? If it happens to MJ, it could happen to any of us.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
We've
This-
discussed
that's-
this several times.
And that's such a good. Who's the? Sorry, I'm gonna mute the person who has the enormous background.
Sorry,
noise.
I'm just making a coffee.
No, I don't think it was you, Jen.
Richard again, maybe?
No, it's not
No, it
me.
wasn't.
God.
I don't
Poor
know.
Richard, you're
No,
probably
Don't
going
even
for
think
tonight,
about
Nina.
it.
You're me.
I'm good.
Anyway, it's a very good valid point. I
Women
think
too.
that's
Women.
exactly why I keep bringing up Trump, and that's not because I am a Trump supporter. It's not because I want you guys all to be Trump supporters. You can hate the guy all you want. The issue is that if the media can do a certain thing to Michael, or if the media can
He's
do
my
a
dad.
certain thing to Trump, or if the media can do a certain thing to whoever, they can do it to you. And that is the whole point. It has to be, you can hate someone or love someone, but someone always has to be treated fairly, whoever it is. So if they can do it to him,
Sure.
they can do it to you, so you should be mad about it. Even though you agree with it, you should still be mad about it.
Okay, perfect
but the best-
example. Michael is, as far as we're all concerned, and in my opinion, end of innocent. Okay, so
Yeah.
but Michael and someone who is not innocent would still go into the court with the same rights, which is innocent until proven guilty. So if all citizens are entitled to that, all citizens, irrelevant of their station, irrelevant if they're the most famous person in the world, president, or whoever it is, from me to the Queen, we deserve the basic rights. Like Princess Diana was a perfect. The British press slaughtered that woman.
Right.
And the second
Oh,
she
yeah,
died,
they
they were
did.
like, "Oh, we're gonna," like the other day, they were like, "Remembering Princess
Yeah.
Diana on would have been her 58th birthday," and I was like,
Same with
"Piss
him.
off! You treated her like
Yeah,
shit."
yeah.
So
I-
if we're demanding,
Oh.
sorry, 1 second. If we're demanding fairness, we have to demand fairness, irrelevant of who you like and dislike. There are plenty of people that I dislike
Oh,
in
fine.
the media, like but they deserve the right to be treated fairly. Same as when you whether you're guilty or you're innocent, as you are walking into that courtroom, you are entitled to the same thing, which is presumption.
Of innocence. Yeah.
Yes.
But I personally, I think in America the tide shifted when O.J. Simpson won, and I think every famous person pays for his sins now,
Yeah, but did he do it?
especially if you.
Yeah,
I think he did
always. So I always go with I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Because if I'm honest, I didn't dig that deep into OJ's case, but if I'm honest,
Yeah.
I don't think he did it. I think he knows who did it, and I think
Yeah.
he's covering for
interesting.
someone. But I don't think he
You
did
think-
it, so
Who though?
then justice
I
still
personally,
has
I've
served.
researched that. I've researched that case heavily, and I think he did. But I
I
do
think the
think.
problem is none of us will ever know.
Exactly, we
But
don't
I-
know. It's still speculation.
But I do also feel the verdict in his case was just, was right.
Right.
Why was it right
Because-
if he's guilty? If you say he did it, why would it be right for him?
It's because the instructions the jury get is beyond a reasonable doubt, and the prosecution basically lost the case.
Right.
The defense
Okay.
didn't
So from
win.
that perspective, right. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And I think Michael Jackson is paying for his sins. That's what I think in America. And there's a heavy racial issue to it also.
I'm not so sure about that.
No.
Is it a racial issue?
I think there is.
I believe there was a racial issue. I don't believe the racial issue that I see now is the racial issue that they want to invent now to keep the public divided on this. And that is a narrative that has been all over the media. There is this push for racism constantly now just to keep people divided, because you see people on Twitter everywhere fighting over it. As if racism is back, as if we're living in South Africa, you know? Come on. We shouldn't even talk about...
50s.
Yeah, as if we're back in the 50s, as if we're back in the 80s when Michael had to fight to get his stuff. And with that I am not saying that there is no racism or no racist people. Like Snedden was a racist piece of shit.
No.
You know, I'm not saying that there's not racist people, but there's racist people in every color. And it's such a small percentage of people, but so many people are falling for this racist narrative, and I think that's pretty dangerous, because I think that's dividing people even more. And I think in a time like this we have to unite and not divide.
Oh, for sure. But I do feel it's different in America, though. I moved to Los Angeles 4 years ago. I think it's just different here, especially in LA. I don't know about the rest of America.
It's because they push that narrative there more.
Yeah.
Well, America is more famous for racism than anywhere else, probably.
It's more famous for
I'm not saying it's more
country,
racist, but it's more famous for it because of all the issues that have gone on in the past. And
yeah,
but that's a funny thing. I mean, America always thinks that they're the only country in the world that has certain issues. To me, when I look at America, just lately, not always, but lately, what they're trying to get back is as if there is still black people that can sit in the front of the bus or something, you know. That's not what's going on anymore, but people still keep bringing that up, and it's not helpful. I'm not saying that it never happened. I'm just saying it happened 50, 60 years ago. It's not helpful, you know. Unite. Stop looking at each other as colors. You know,
but it's part of the PC culture thing too, because the PC culture thing, everything racism is about sexism. It's like it's a constant or like that's what I'm saying with like the press and stuff. That's where the money is. It's like when somebody says something racist, they sell more papers. When somebody does something that's sexist, even if it's like a small thing that somebody makes a comment about, and it's like it blows up into like this whole. It's like what
and I think
what happened with
it undoes so many good things that have been done in the past by people like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Michael Jackson himself. You know, they actually fought for something and they got stuff done, and people are now trying to undo that with very stupid actions. That's what I think.
Martin Luther King apparently now some kind of stories out, and it's complete bullshit.
I saw that's actually an old story that they're trying to rehash into something new, which is the FBI supposedly found that he was he had like 40 mistresses, and he watched somebody get raped and was laughing. And honestly, it's if you dig into that, and the media didn't really pick it up, but if you dig into that, you know that Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI. He was incredibly racist and was always trying to take every opportunity he could to discredit Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that's what.
Where but you can. I heard of this story because there's supposedly some audio tape that the FBI has about this whole rape thing that he was a witness of, supposedly. But if J. Edgar Hoover really had that tape, and he really was such a racist and wanted to shut Martin Luther King up, we would have had that audio tape 50 years ago. I just don't believe that that Hoover thought, oh, yeah, I got an audio tape here. But instead of just releasing this audio tape, I'm going to have him shot. Well, it would have been way better for him, because now, while being assassinated, he was made an even bigger hero. While if they would have released that tape, if they really had such a tape, which I don't believe, I mean, I have to hear it before I believe it. That tape would have actually damaged his reputation, and we might have not even been talking about Martin Luther King if that tape was released back then. So I don't know.
If it existed, they would have released it. You know, just like the description. If it had matched, sorry, you know, he'd be in jail.
Right. It's always such an interesting timing. What are they doing with Martin? Why do they have to go after Martin Luther King all of a sudden?
Oh, but it's not just Martin Luther King. It's also, for example, Bill Cosby.
Yeah, but Bill Cosby, no, I'm not going into it, but I just believe he did it. Let's just keep it at that. You know, not every black guy is innocent. Come on, some really just.
Exactly. He seems guilty.
Anything.
Just like R. Kelly, you know, people bring him up too. Yeah, but R. Kelly, they're after him too. Yeah, he's on tape pissing on a 15-year-old. You know, some people are just guilty. Doesn't matter what party you are.
Has anyone seen that?
Exactly. Seen the tape?
I wouldn't even want to see that.
I wouldn't.
I'm just wondering because I don't want to watch it. I'm just saying.
I mean, I remember when it first happened, it was circulating amongst like street vendors, like if you want to buy the R. Kelly tape, like somebody made copies. I don't know why, but I mean, the biggest clue
I would assume that they took it up the internet everywhere because it's considered child pornography. So
yeah,
I would assume.
I mean, with R. Kelly is the fact that he legally married Aaliyah when she was only like 15. So
how's that even possible?
Got her parents' permission. He got her parents' permission.
Really? Wasn't he?
Her father was there.
But wasn't she his cousin or something, or his niece?
No. Yeah, she was his like protege, and they kind of hooked up, and then she divorced him before she passed, unfortunately.
Hollywood is some sick ass.
It's just like Elvis.
Place, yo.
So corrupted, isn't it? Huh?
There's really when did Elvis marry Priscilla? What age was she when they got actually married?
Well, she was 14. Like, well, when they were together, she was like 14, and he was like 24.
Well, when did they actually get married? Like when she was 15, 16? She must have needed
14.
permission. Oh, 14?
Yeah.
So she probably needed permission from her parents too then.
I don't know. It was different time back then, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Something to read about.
Blade Brown is making a comment if people, I hear that so often. If people are not living in America, they can't know what. I see what you mean, but I can also see it from a distance and with a more objective view, I believe. And I just see that people are really being divided by the media way more than here. It's starting here too. I can see how they're starting to take over the narratives of the U.S. here, so they're trying here too with the same. People are not really. I don't know how that is in the UK, but people here in Holland aren't really falling for that stuff yet. I think that might change soon, but.
I think with the Leaving Neverland I think in the long run it will help us because it's just so obviously bullshit, you know. I mean, I debunked it in 3 months, and I'm just a dude that lives in LA with a laptop.
But don't you think don't you think it's weird that they made it so easy to debunk?
Yeah, because they're banking on the fact that people ain't gonna do their research.
But they know they should have known that Michael Jackson fans would do the research. So
that's the thing. I think they underestimated it, and I think Dan Reed really hates Michael Jackson fans because he didn't realize how, how big the
They
community
really
actually is.
underestimated us. They really did.
well,
I think he underestimated it.
don't you? Well, I don't think he underestimated it. It looks more like he wanted to see if he could get away with it. You know, if they could get away with a hit piece like that was so easily debunked by people within the fan community or people who actually just paid attention, and to see if there would still be a large part of the public who would just buy it just like that.
I think he was banking on the Me Too movement, like that would not.
Yeah.
That movement.
Jackson fans think. I mean, it's about the fact that the public and the media wouldn't really question it, and that's what he was banking on. And I think that's why he honestly, in the documentary, Michael Jackson fans are at the end, and tried to paint us as like we're just evil people.
Compared us to
you just can't. Yeah.
If you get time, please watch my new documentary because I've changed the ending to show how much support he's got.
What's the link?
It's Leaving Neverland, the Aftermath theatrical cut. Shall I put the link into the comments?
No,
section?
I put it in my list, and I always forget to watch it. Sorry.
Oh really? No problem.
June, if you want people to watch it, put it in the comment section on the YouTube page.
Yeah, I'll do
really
that now.
interested.
And also, when I showed it at the TCR Theatre here in Hollywood, a lot of the people there were neutral.
Oh, you're
and,
that dude!
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, there is the quarter.
And a lot of people were engaged. A lot of neutral people came. I wouldn't say the theatre was full, but they were really engaged. Like, they thanked me after for giving them the info.
Did you have a sort of a discussion afterwards, or a Q&A, or did you
We did, but I didn't film it. We did. They were kind of pressed for time, and yeah, I can't really remember, to be honest. I had a few drinks that day. Also.
Oh no.
That never helps.
Yeah.
It does. Bloody does.
But did you think that there were actual people who, because I wonder if there's people going to view your documentary that believe that he is guilty and would like to see your side of the story, or do you believe it's mostly just people that already believed in his innocence?
I think it was 50-50. There was a couple of comments I got from people who are Michael Jackson fans, but light fans, and they kind of were indifferent after watching the original.
Mm-hmm.
So they said we were here out of just interest, and they said thank you because now I see that it's made up.
Right.
It's nice to hear.
I still don't see how the media gets away with still calling this a powerful documentary and the best documentary of the year or something so far I think I've seen. And
they have a narrative.
Yeah, it was like for Edinburgh festival. I think they would like nominate it for an award.
Yeah, aren't they nominated for an Emmy or something also?
But all I know
they were
is that
trying to do that.
Actually, would remember it, I think it's just like the Living with MJ documentary.
Oh God! Are the Trump supporters on the panel American and U.S. citizens? Half.
Does it matter?
Does it matter? No. Is the world benefiting from Trump as president? Yes. So can we have an opinion on it? Yes. My boyfriend is American, full-blown Trump supporter too, so he knows exactly what he's talking about. So it's not like I'm just, sucking shit out of my thumb or something. That's a Dutch saying. I have no clue if you use that in England. I just thought.
Did you say sucking shit out of your thumb?
Yes. It means making up stuff.
Yeah.
I call Dunglish. I just talking shit. I just like to make this new language. It's literally translating Dutch stuff into English.
Dutchlish.
Guys, I have to go.
Okay, talk to you later.
Okay,
I think we're going
Bye,
through
Muggles.
through the chat a little bit. I don't know if has anyone.
It was nice talking to you guys.
Bye bye.
Sure.
Does anyone have
Take care.
in the voice channel have a topic that they want to talk about or?
Oh.
I don't know what I missed at the start. To be honest with you, for the
I think we were talking about Epstein and about YouTube silencing, Twitter silencing. You know, MJ or Miss Flying Fairy's account being completely terminated. I do have. She wrote a statement. I said I would read it for her. It's a bit long. I asked her for her links to her new channel, and I haven't had those yet. So I'm waiting for that, and I think I'll just put it up on the website. So if you were looking for her new channel, you can actually go to the MichaelJacksonInnocentProject.com, and I'll post it there as soon as I have her link. So you can follow her there again. So that's what we talked about before you joined. Oh, and Joss win in court, of course.
Oh, what happened?
Yep.
Briefly.
Oh yeah, she's not here, so we can actually talk about it more now. I think they have it's you can find it online. They have a mutual agreement that they're not talking about each other, and she does not have a restraining order against her, and that is the win that we have.
So if Pearl talks about Jar now, Jar can go after.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
Oh, so
Oh,
is she like suing Pearl Jr.?
No,
Pearl Jr. was trying to get a restraining order against Jar.
Based on nothing, and that's what the judge called.
Based on literally nothing. That was the point. That's why it didn't go anywhere.
No.
Can I tell my Pearl Jr. story real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
I mean, you don't have an agreement with her, so why not?
Okay, so I had first heard about her like when I was looking at her videos for Leaving Neverland. And I didn't realize like all the stuff about her stealing people's work and all the other, because she seemed to me that she was like really nice and bubbly and crazy at times, but I was kind of ignoring the believer aspect of things. I mean, I've got nothing against believers. If you want to believe that, fine. Whatever. I don't believe he's still alive, but that's okay. But the thing that got me turned off of her was when she gave a radio interview.
I know it was exactly like what you mean.
The local radio station, and I was listening to it,
and she started so well, right? She started
so well. I was like, okay. And then he got to the point where he was like, "Pro, can I ask you something?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, please don't ask her if Michael's still alive. Please don't ask her if Michael's still alive." And he was like, "Do you think Michael Jackson is still alive?" And I was like, "Sorry, my language." I was like, "Shit, gosh damn it!" Like I was like, "Come on," because I knew that as soon as she got into it, that it would make Michael Jackson fans seem crazy as hell. And I really just was like, "Oh my gosh, okay, I can't do it anymore. I can't." And then she said in the YouTube video that it went really well, and I'm just like,
Hold
"No,
on
it didn't."
a second. Frodo is apparently a bit deaf. I already told you, we are not all from the U.S. here. Some of us are Trump supporters, some are not. We all have our own beliefs, own opinions.
Yeah.
I even made up a whole new Dunglish saying about it. So you missed it. No, I'm not an American citizen, but I know.
Neither am I. So.
Think enough to know. About
I am.
I know more about American politics than about my own country. So the fact that we're not
Trump.
The fact that we're not Americans doesn't mean that we cannot have an opinion on the U.S. I mean, the U.S. is a world power, so whatever the U.S. does affects the rest of the world, so we can definitely have an opinion on it.
I'm a fan of the royal family, and I'm not from England.
Oh my god, I hate... Oh, sorry. Let's not go there.
For God's sake, no more. We've debated too much tonight. My head hurts.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
To use a phrase that you like, Susan, my head hurts.
My head hurts. I think we're gonna go and close it before Frodo is starting to.
Can I say one
get on my
thing?
nerves. Yeah, sure.
Oh, you ever seen a film called Hook?
What?
Dude, the Hulk.
Hook.
Oh, Hook.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway.
With
Robin
Dustin
Williams?
Hoffman, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Michael
That's a
Jackson
classic
was going to
movie.
be in that.
I know.
Yeah.
Did
He
you?
was
Oh,
on the
okay.
Scissorhands. We talked about this.
Yeah, Michael.
last week, I think.
Michael was also supposed to be or Scissorhands. Wasn't it the last live? Have we talked about that?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
I might have missed a bit of that.
Yeah, he was
Well,
supposed
he had
to be
an
Edward
issue with
Scissorhands.
Spielberg, I think, right?
That's it.
Sorry, can I say so? Someone's put something in the chat. Someone has put that they don't think the estate nor the Jackson family have done enough to defend Mike. The Jacksons are relatively quiet. No offense, but what the hell do you expect them to say that they haven't said over the years anyway? Am I the only one who just
Exactly, yeah.
like everyone can have their opinion, but
Yeah, but
what
who
do
the hell
people
are they
expect
to
them
say
to
that
do?
someone else didn't do enough? I mean, what do you expect
I
them
mean,
to
I get
do?
the estate. I get the estate. People have put the estate. I get that. But the Jackson family have defended on numerous occasions over the last 30 bloody years.
Yeah.
In every way, it's like when people say the kids don't do enough. No matter what they say, it's going to be irrelevant. Latoya came out and even said, "I was forced to say stuff by my abusive, evil husband."
Yeah.
People choose not to believe it. Whatever they say,
She was brainwashed.
but whatever they say, people are going to have an opinion. Look, like everyone's got an opinion. They can think that they're not doing enough. If that's what you think, then. But then feel free to say what you think they should be doing. Because if you say the Jackson family have been inactive, Taj and Brandy have been running around like crazy, doing interviews for free, paying for their own parking, as John Ziegler said, to make sure that they can get the message. When they're not being allowed the platform and they're getting cancelled for TV interviews, what do you expect them to do?
Right.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have a go at anyone. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I don't get what people expect them to do. Someone just made a good point. Yeah, Janice. Sorry, Janice Abel. Sorry if I said your name wrong. One of Jackson's nephews said not to state the family's silence for inaction. All battles can't be fought in front of the press. This is true. Taj is trying to make a documentary. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I think it's a very dodgy road we're walking if we assume we know anything that the Jackson family are doing. And I want to drive this point home. Irrelevant if you're a believer or you're not a believer, irrelevant. Michael Jackson loves his bloody family. He may hate them on days. He may want to strangle them on days because that's what he is like. But he loves his family. Love, whatever phrase you want to use. So kind of
all families too that they want to strangle them.
Exactly.
sometimes.
That's what I said. I was with my family at his birthday party last night, and my aunt's husband, I was screaming at him to shut up because he did my nutting, because that's what we do. We argue with each other. But if anyone went after him, I would still have his back. But I may not. Not everything has to be public. We can't keep thinking that the Jacksons have to react how we would react, because we haven't lived their lives. Don't know they do or why they do it. So that's just me. You do you.
No, I totally agree with you. I think people need to realize that the Jackson family is bigger than the documentary. So if they say something, it makes the documentary bigger. So they're actually doing the smart thing of not saying anything. Just imagine if Paris said something about it, it'd be all over TMZ and everything. And more people would say it.
But those kids wouldn't be taken serious either. I mean, during the allegations, the last allegations in 2000 and supposedly happened in 2002, 2003.
Mm-hmm.
But
what? Sorry,
Prince was 6 years old.
2003.
What, the 05 trial?
Yeah, they cannot say anything because even in the different timeline where Michael Jackson would be a pedophile, they wouldn't know because they were too young, so they wouldn't be. It doesn't matter if you believe Michael's innocent or not. The kids will never. I mean, the family that was around and adults aren't even believed. So why would the kids be believed? There's no use in them speaking up.
And FYI, even with the kids, even if they would defend him, there are still disgusting people posting about his children going, have you seen, like is it BG? Is that what Blanket's name is now?
Yeah.
I think so.
Like saying, have you seen him? His eyes look really sad. I bet Michael did something to him. So no, and
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
I saw that.
that's
Oh my
disgusting
God.
BS.
Yeah,
So
that's
I never saw that. So.
no matter what, these people are so desperate for kids to have been molested. It's actually really sick that, irrelevant of what they say, they're not going to be believed anyway by these people. The media will spin it. Paris could say he was a father, and people would just turn around and go, "What? How do you know what?" Like they would ignore the fact that to her,
The only thing that I agreed with, although I would not bother Paris with it online because I mean it's her fucking life. She has to do whatever she thinks she wants to do. She has been standing for Nikki Sixx. That's the only thing where I thought, well, maybe Paris, that is not the best idea since he is calling your dad a pedophile.
Nikki Sixx is in the guy from The Crow.
Yeah. So
right, okay.
That's the only thing where I thought, yeah, well, okay, you know, I can see how you don't have to jump on the fence to defend him because there is no use, but this might not be working either. So that's the only thing.
But then again, to reiterate, we don't know what conversations they've had in private with Nikki Sixx. We don't know. Conversation she might have had with him.
Nikki Sixx has always been vocal about Michael Jackson being a pedophile and really nasty shit too. I mean, really not something. Let's say that if he would have said that about my dad, I would have probably killed him very, very slowly.
Sociopath is showing.
Yeah, so you know that's the only thing where I thought, well, yeah, not helpful.
I did have an issue with Michael Jackson fans criticizing the kids for not saying something on his death, on the anniversary of his death.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I was like, because I made the argument, and I was like, look, those kids is June 25th. They need to say something about their dad, because we all know they love their dad. I mean, let's just do a quick post on social media to show that we care. I mean, that's
ridiculous.
I mean, I will say this:
people don't do that. Like, it's not like every
that's
time
what
my
I was about.
Anniversary comes up, I'm like, love you, Nan, miss you. I know I love her. I don't have to tell everyone else.
I was about to say, because my father unfortunately lost my grandfather when he was only 7. They don't really talk about, you know, on the anniversary of whatever his death was. They don't really talk about it. I mean, they may go visit his grave, but that's it. I mean, they're not on social media. They don't call each other. They're just like, we don't really want to talk about it because it's just too painful.
Well,
and it still upsets, you know, because, you know, there's 3 of them. It's my uncle, my aunt, and my father. And it's like they still to this day, they can't watch certain movies that have to do with a kid losing a parent, you know, because it just gets a little too emotional for them. So, I mean, just because they don't say something on social media on his birthday
they don't owe the fans anything. I mean, they're Michael Jackson fans, you know. Michael Jackson's kids don't owe Michael Jackson's fans anything. You know, they didn't ask to be famous. They didn't ask to be known and in the spotlight. So, you know.
Well, Miss Draco just made a. Sorry, I was agreeing with your point. Miss Draco said, "I wish people would see Paris as her own person. She's more than just the daughter of Michael Jackson."
Right, she's her own person. Just leave them the fuck alone. You know, it's.
She's in that new Scream, that TV show, now, aren't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought so.
I mean, everyone does their own thing the way they think is right for them. And I don't think that fans, they claimed Michael already enough, you know. Don't do the same with his children. Leave them alone. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's how we're, I don't know, Titch, if you have any energy left?
No.
No?
No.
What is Titch so short for?
What do you mean? What?
For short?
So,
it means short.
What's it short for?
Titch is short for short.
Short.
So that was just a joke, so because if you put TIT, you know, never mind.
Yeah, well, no, that's what Susan called me.
What's that?
So there's some people in the chat who are still banging on about the stuff we were talking about earlier. Guys, have a day off, please. Deal with it.
Have a break. Have a Kit
It's
Kat.
exactly the narrative that they're brainwashed with that I was talking about earlier. So I'm not going to reply to it anymore. I tried, and I'm not American, so I'm not allowed to have an opinion. So I think we're gonna end the discussion here. I don't know.
Are we finished now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been a lot online.
I was enjoying that too.
Over 2 hours, and we always reach a certain point in the lives where the discussion might go places that we shouldn't go, and that's usually the time that we should just end the discussion and either go on to the different to the other channel or have some good sleep.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have any questions. Oh yeah, that's from the beginning. Yeah, I don't see any questions anymore. When are we doing the next one?
I think we should wait a few weeks
Like
because I think
Christmas.
some stuff's going to happen.
I believe the same thing. I'm just looking at the
appeal is coming up too, I think.
When is the appeal?
17th.
I thought it was 24th.
Oh, that's the 17th?
of July.
The 17th is going to be an interesting day anyway, because that's when Mueller is going to testify before Congress as well, and we might know a little bit more about Epstein. So I
brother's
think
birthday too.
the earliest on Saturday the 20th, is that a good date? That's about 2 weeks from now, a little under 2 weeks.
Why don't we just go with that for now, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I might push that back another week, but I'll put it on the 20th for now, and I don't think we should do this.
Oh my god, Frodo! Fuck off, man, with that question, please!
Frodo, I'm really going
question?
to... yeah, it's annoying. I'm gonna...
It's the same question
I'm just
every
going,
time.
I'm just going to
Oh,
kick him out of the chat. Because seriously, I can't do people like that.
I'm trying to divert it back to Michael Jackson stuff. You're not helping.
Asking the same fucking questions like 100 times just because you're mad because people don't have the same political view as you have. 25th of July. No, 20th of July for now.
20th.
And otherwise it's going to be the 27th. But if that hearing is going to be... Is that an appeal hearing on the 17th?
It's a hearing basically where HBO put their reason and then the estate answered. It's basically going to...
Okay, that's the estate. No, I was talking about Robson's appeal. He had a certain date too. When was that?
I think it's the 24th.
Is that the 24th?
I think it's the 24th.
Give me a second.
It's this month.
I think you might be right on that. Oh, here we go. 1 second. So, if it loads.
TikTok. Yeah.
Shut up. Oh, okay. 20. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, Nicole. 24th of 7th.
Okay, I'll put it on the
filing deadline.
I'll put it the next live on the 27th then, because I think that's an interesting thing to wait for.
Well, the judge has stated that he will not get any more extensions. So if he doesn't put it in then...
Yeah, that's it. So the 27th, there has to be some news. If there's going to be news about HBO and the estate that's big enough to discuss, we might
can't wait.
do another short live on the 20th, but let's keep it for the 27th then after the appeals.
We'll have more to talk about.
You guys think they'll get it?
Live.
I think we
what
always...
was that, Nicole?
That
Sorry, Nicole said something.
I was wondering, do you guys think they'll get it? The appeal?
What do you mean? What, do you think they'll win?
Oh no.
No, well, just get it in general. Okay.
This is the thing, because technically they haven't got anything.
No.
They haven't. I think what they're doing is, I think they're going to try with this new law in California to do that whole PTSD body.
If the law passes in time.
Well,
they asked for
I
60
think, to be honest,
days.
They will wait. I think he asked for 60 days. He got granted 30. He asked for 90 days, didn't he, Nicole?
Well, but they're
waiting.
I thought
it was 60.
They're waiting
I
for
thought it
that.
was 60.
They're waiting for that bill to pass. That's why they're asking for delays. So, I don't think that bill's gonna pass before that date. So I think Robson's just fucked. So
I'm not sure if they fail to do it, can they try for an appeal again, or is that just it? Like I don't know law.
No, so. I think that's it. I think you have to go to
this is it.
A certain I don't know if you can go to an even higher court because you go to the
I think they'd
have
to take it to the Supreme Court if they were doing that.
But
again, good luck.
Yeah, because you have that. I don't exactly know how that works. You have the Seventh Circuit Court and whatever. I don't know what
you can.
That's for.
You can do it.
You can. Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna ask, do we know anything about his charity? Because I think he's made more than $250,000 now. Does he have to file?
I think he has to file by the end of the year.
Well, I think I saw something on Twitter. I think I put it on the moment of the Michael Jackson Innocent Project. I think Dan Reed or someone of the production actually admits there that they were getting paid something with there are easier things to do to get money or something. So.
Oh my God, is that out? I could have put that in my documentary.
Yeah, I think.
Pull that in.
I don't know if I can find it that quick, but I saw that somewhere this week. I think I added it to one of them to that moment. Hold on, let's see if I can find it and see if I can actually read it. What it said. Completely contradicted. They started out with it was not about the money, they were not being paid, and it ended with they were so brave because there's money. Because there's easier ways to make money. So indirectly admitting that they.
I'm on a side note. I'm a dancer here. I'm also a dancer here in LA. And if I ever saw Wade Robson, I wouldn't say nothing to him, but I'd probably play that song. You know, Money. I just want to.
Money.
I'm hard not to say something, but oh my God.
Doesn't Wade Robson have like a terrible reputation in the dance community or something?
He
does. In terms of like sexual stuff.
Well, it's rumored that Brandy, whatever, said that he cheated on her with an underage girl, and there's rumors that there was a particular well-known actress/singer that he took the virginity of when she was something like 16, 17. And obviously over in England, if she was 16, 17, it would be fine. In America, that's illegal.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
His reputation ain't very good, 99% of my friends are dancers, and I would say majority of them don't like him.
See, why not?
Why do they not like him, can I ask?
Well, there's stories that they know about, like there's people on tour with certain people and whatnot. There's just stories that they've just said, like he's a bit of a sleazebag and stuff.
Well, apparently they called him Uncle Pervy at Jump Night, but again, it's hard to...
Shocker.
But this is the problem again. This is what we have to be careful of, I think.
I also think you have to be careful
him.
If a girl was 16. I mean, when I was 16, I was pretty well developed and pretty much.
Just say it.
No, I'm not gonna say that because that's not what I was. I was not a slut.
Kidding.
I was not a slut, but I did. My boyfriend back then was 24, so and that was a completely consensual relationship. So,
but in Holland, it's 16 anyway, isn't it?
I have no idea. I think so. I don't know.
I mean, in the UK, but I think
I never saw that as
irrelevant-
something that could be illegal. So,
well, this is the thing. I think we have to be careful of a few things. So, like, people say, he was known as Uncle Pervy at Jump Dance. I get it, cool. And I'm not saying these people are lying, but if we're asking people to do their research for Michael, we can't then immediately, when someone says Wade was known as Uncle Pervy, take it as read.
Yeah.
I know because we hate him. It's like, there's numerous people, like, and shit ton of people who have come and said he's an arsehole. That I believe wholeheartedly.
oh
But
yeah,
when we're labeling
you can
someone,
tell by his face.
yeah, he's got one of those faces.
Hold on, guys. But wasn't there a person who said he made out with his sister in a club?
I heard that.
There's a
There was a
that.
person.
There's a picture of
And
that.
There's not a picture of them making out. There's a picture of that I certainly wouldn't take with my brother.
Well, that's not normal, is it?
No, it's not. But again, this is the thing, and this is what we need to be aware of. Someone can say, I saw him kissing his own sister. I didn't see it.
Right.
This is my point. Is we can't turn around and say you can't. How dare you call?
No, I
when
agree.
the evidence says otherwise. When I'm not saying that I don't. I mean, I don't doubt it. But I don't want to say it as a fact because then I'm going against what I'm trying to ask people to do for Michael. Do you know what? Am I making my point or am I just chatting?
Yeah.
No, you are making a point. But I also think that we can believe that because that person didn't have a $1.5 billion lawsuit to say that.
Oh, yeah.
The person, it doesn't have anything.
But it's not just money, is it?
Good point.
No,
So that story is more believable, I think, that he made out with his own sister in Vegas. What a sleazebag.
Yeah,
If
but
it's
it
true.
wasn't. That's what with the picture of. It was just them together. So honestly, you can't really.
He had his
for
tongue
sure.
out and she was kissing
Yeah,
very
that
close
was a
to his tongue in that picture.
pretty gross picture.
It was.
Yeah, in the
picture then.
Like he had his tongue sticking out in her direction
Oh,
from
God,
the left of his
it's-
mouth, and she was kissing right near his tongue.
I don't
I'm
even
my
have.
friend, and I ain't getting nowhere near that.
If it's true.
I have no pictures with my brothers anywhere near something like that. So that's absolutely not normal.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord, yeah.
The closest I've got is my brother strangling me.
Yep.
That's it.
I get
Yeah,
grossed
my
out.
brother's
I
good.
get grossed out when I see my brother walking down the hallway with no shirt on. Like I'm just like, why?
Thank God I don't have any brothers.
I mean, what are you trying to show? Like, I don't understand what. I
Men
mean,
always walk around in their boxers though,
yeah.
like their briefs. Like they always just like. What is it with men? Why do you guys constantly, Richard? Why are you guys and Jin? Why are you guys constantly just in your bloody like? Put some pants on. Put some damn trousers on. We don't want to see
I've
that.
got pants on.
No, all right, trousers. You know.
Underwear.
All right, yeah, it's confusing between English and American.
Pants.
Pajamas. Pants.
Well, what you call pants,
God
we
damn.
call trousers. Our version of pants is briefs. It's underwear. So when we say, "Oh, put some pants on," we're talking about putting underwear on.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. So we say pants for
Underwear.
boxers, briefs, whatever. Yeah, it's underwear. The trousers
Wifens.
is trousers.
Yeah.
That's so confusing.
No, it's pretty much
Elevate
what
them.
they use trousers for in England. The same word would be pants
Yes.
in the US.
yeah.
And what you guys call briefs or
I've been.
underwear,
I
we
lived
call
in England. So.
pants.
And fanny pack.
The side. I mean, there's a bunch
Or
of
boxers.
words.
It's all very confusing.
So
You guys-
confusing, yeah. I'm confused as
Call
hell.
Well, with that said, that man should put on some pants. I'm going to
Knickers.
I'm going to put the live offline.
Not pants.
And we'll see you guys at least the 27th
27th.
and maybe the 20th. So see
Can
you
I
guys,
come?
see you guys later.
Not if you're gonna pee on the live.
No.
No, I won't. I was waiting anyway, so.
Did you say you were weighing on yourself?
Bye, guys.
No.
Bye.